They're going to see Schmidt shooting the lights out, and they're going to say, okay, well, we've got to take care of their two guards, and nobody else is going to be able to hurt us from the outside.
Yeah.
Now, a triangle and two is a little bit different in that they'll play a three-man zone. Two guys will be on the block, but one will be in the middle of the lane, and then there'll be two guys playing man-to-man, probably against Schmidt and Shively. What that opens up is an awful lot of shots right at the elbow, which is a pretty good spot for Pettigrew. That's about the length of his range. But if they do play something like that, because there'll be bigger people on Schmidt and Shively than what they're used to, Guy's really got to have a big ball game. And I wouldn't say that to Bobby. I wouldn't put pressure on a 16, 17-year-old kid because he's a terrific kid. But I look for him, for us to be successful. I think Guy's really got to come through big time.
Okay, your point is well made. Well, we haven't had the national anthem yet. They're introducing the Columbia City non-starters right now. So we'll go ahead and give you the starters that we have up. I have Northwood's lineup in front of me. Starting out front, it'll be number 4, Willie Will, a 6'3 senior. He wears number 4, and also number 5, Eric Reynolds, a 6'2 senior. He plays the forward position. Robbie Lightfoot, also out top, wears number 10, a 5'11 sophomore guard. Those are the big three in their sectional win over Northridge here the other night. Number 20, Ryan Bradley, a 6-foot sophomore guard. And then also down low, Rory Klaus wears number 22. A junior forward, 6'3 junior forward. So they feature a 3-guard offense in their starting lineup. Once again, that's Willie Will, Eric Reynolds, Robbie Lightfoot, Ryan Bradley, Rory Klaus, and the head coach of the Northwood Panthers, they're 18-5, is Mr. Dan Gunn. So that's the lineup for the Northwood Panthers.
Dan Gunn's been around since balls were round.
And Marion,
he has been coaching for a long, long time, and he's an outstanding kind of grizzled old vet. For the Eagles tonight, they will play their normal 3-forward, 2-guard offense. At the forwards will be Bob Dye, a 6'3 junior, John Pettigrew, 6'2 senior, Ryan Boylan, 6'1 sophomore, and at the guard, both 5'9, Trevor Shively, a junior, and Tim Schmidt, a senior. I just went by. I'm telling you, I am so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an atmosphere. Their crowd is packed. You know, one of those where you got to do a coat check play. Atmosphere. Their crowd is packed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of those where you got to take your coat to a coat check place because you can't sit down. They're going to see Schmidt shooting the lights out, and thare going to say, okay, well, we've got to take care of their two guards, and nobody else is going to be able to hurt us from the outside.
Yeah.
Now, a triangle and two is a little bit different in that they'll play a 3-man zone. Two guys will be on the block, but one will be in the middle of the lane, and then there'll be two guys playing man-to-man, probably against Schmidt and Shively. What that opens up is an awful lot of shots right at the elbow, which is a pretty good spot for Pettigrew. That's about the length of his range. But if they do play something like that, because there'll be bigger people on Schmidt and Shively than what they're used to, Guy's really got to have a big ball game. And I wouldn't say that to Bobby. I wouldn't put pressure on a 16, 17-year-old kid because he's a terrific kid. But I look for him, for us to be successful. I think Guy's really got to come through big time.
Okay, your point is well made. Well, we haven't had the national anthem yet. They're introducing the Columbia City non-starters right now. So we'll go ahead and give you the starters that we have up. I have Northwood's lineup in front of me. Starting out front, it'll be number 4, Willie Will, a 6'3 senior. He wears number 4, and also number 5, Eric Reynolds, a 6'2 senior. He plays the forward position. Robbie Lightfoot, also out top, wears number 10, a 5'11 sophomore guard. Those are the big three in their sectional win over Northridge here the other night. Number 20, Ryan Bradley, a 6-foot sophomore guard. And then also down low, Rory Klaus was number 22, a junior forward, 6'3" junior forward. So they feature a 3-guard offense in their starting lineup. Once again, that's Willie Will, Eric Reynolds, Robbie Lightfoot, Ryan Bradley, Rory Klaus, and the head coach of the Northwood Panthers. They're 18-5 is Mr. Dan Gunn. So that's the lineup for the Northwood Panthers.
Dan Gunn's been around since basketballs were round.
And Marion,
he has been coaching for a long, long time, and he's an outstanding kind of grizzled old vet. For the Eagles tonight, they will play their normal 3-forward, 2-guard offense. At the forwards will be Bob Dye, a 6'3" junior, John Pettigrew, 6'2" senior, Ryan Boylan, 6'1" sophomore, and at the guard, both 5'9", Trevor Shively, a junior, and Tim Schmidt, a senior. I just went by. I'm telling you, I am so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an atmosphere. Their crowd is packed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, one of those where you got to take your coat to a coat check place because you can't sit down. We've got a great student body out first. Our student body's got their back to Norwood as they're being introduced. Got to love that, baby. You got to love this. This is tournament basketball.
Hey, this place is jam-packed. Northwood really fills it up. So the Panther pitch nearing capacity on the one side. We are located above the east goal here. We are situated upstairs high above the floor, and we have to contend with some obstructions, so please bear with us. We'll try to overcome all that.
But you know, the good part about this is that we can't sit because we can't see the scoreboard, so we get to wander. And if we were sitting down there among that scoreboard, we'd have like 2 old fat ladies sitting in our lap, and we wouldn't have time, wouldn't have room to do anything. Of course, the bad part about it is that back at the station, I better warn you ahead of time, I get wandering. I'll probably unplug my mic, and
we don't want to do that.
Coming from me.
We don't want to do that. Okay, well, we're just about set and ready to go here. Obviously, we've got our national anthem coming yet. So 3A regional title on the line. A berth in the Frankfurt Semi-State Saturday morning on the line for the Panthers and the Eagles. The Eagles will wear their maroon uniforms and be the visitors on the scoreboard. Northwood in the home whites, of course. And they wear red and black trim. The Northwood Panthers here at the pit in Napanee, Indiana.
I tell you what, these folks support their sports. When we played in the Final Four for softball back when I was at Griffith, Northwood was down there at the same time, and we brought the largest contingent with about 2,400 people, and they brought almost as many as we did. Now, wow, girls softball, so you can imagine how they are for basketball.
Okay, we're going to honor America with our national anthem.
And I can't find, the flag's right above us, so don't scratch anything, Andrew.
Oh, it's right above it.
Don't scratch your nose now.
Our national anthem. We can pick any of this up here.
That's the longest I've held still in about 5 years. We're standing directly below the flag. I mean, directly below it, to where everybody in the gym has to kind of stare at us a little bit. Thank goodness Andrew's pretty good looking, to where they don't mind looking at him.
Oh, no. I don't know about that, but boy, excitement in the air here tonight at the pit. Regional championship on the line here in Class 3A. And I think Columbia City would bode well maybe in this hostile environment to get off to a good start.
Well, our kids have just about reached the point to where, they feel like
Maybe
we've overcome enough adversity. We're out here to play basketball. Nothing else really matters. And they just kind of have that strut in their step a little bit, and that's a good thing.
Okay, well, we'll see how we do here at the pit tonight as John Pettigrew to jump center against Willie Will, 6'3" against 6'3". And we're just about ready to go. Columbia City fans turned out in a pretty strong throng tonight, so
there's probably a couple of them lost and haven't made it here yet.
The ball's in the air. The tap is controlled by Northwood. Robbie Lightfoot within the backcourt. He hands off to Bradley. Bradley will dribble slowly across the timeline now. Tim Schmidt picking up at center court. Now wide left corner, Klaus. Interior pass good to Willie Will. Now he kicks it all the way out on the arc to Lightfoot. 1-3 on the way is good. Robbie Lightfoot.
By the way, that's the kid I was talking about with the funky-looking shot that shoots it pretty well.
They chuck it from anywhere. 3-0 Northwood. Shively across the timeline for Columbia City's first possession. Now Tim Schmidt with it, top of the key. And it works the right side, finds Ryan Boylan down the right wing, all the way up top. Schmidt with it again.
Playing a little box and one right now. They've got two guys down on the block, two at the elbow, and they've got Lightfoot chasing on Shively.
And there's Ryan Boylan for a big three from the top of the key.
Thank you, Ryan. You made me look good, and that's pretty hard to do.
3-3. Here's a turnover on Northwood as Willie Will lost the handle.
All it's going to take is a bump or two by Boylan and maybe a pop or two by Dye, and it changes their entire defensive strategy. That box and one goes down to two.
So 51 seconds gone. Columbia City possession. Tim Schmidt with it. It's 3-3. First quarter early on. Schmidt works it across the timeline. He's bothered by Bradley. Now he goes left. Now right on the arc. Now he pulls up, gives it left side to Ryan Boylan. Boylan looks now up top. Trevor Shively with it. And Shively will work the right side. Tim Schmidt further down the wing. Now he comes all the way around the key left side. Dribbles left. Now stopped there by Northwood. Gives it up to Shively right side. Shively spins in the middle. Hands it off to Schmidt, who comes all the way back out by mid-cart. Now he drives in. Spins at the free throw line. Nice backdoor pass to Boylan, but he loses the handle. Turnover.
Well, Northwood got some good backdoor help, and Boylan saw the help side coming and stopped rather than go ahead and walk his way into the pass. It appears as if Northwood's defensive strategy is when they miss, they're playing man-to-man. When they make, they're playing that box and one to try and throw Schmidt off and make him make adjustments.
Now here's Reynolds out top for Northwood. Nice interior pass to Klaus. Fakes, goes up on Dye. Dye partially blocks it. Schmidt has it. Stolen from Tim Schmidt. And here's a foul on Schmidt, as Ryan Bradley stole it back from Schmidt and drew the foul.
Boy, that was a nice pick by Bradley. He just, Schmidt's not used to that. Aren't very many kids have quicker hands than he does, and he just got it away from him. And Tim, just out of frustration, went to grab it back and ended up picking up the foul.
Saved a layup. First foul of the game on Tim Schmidt. Northwood's ball out of bounds on the common foul. He sent it inside, pass batted away off of Northwood. Columbia City ball.
And Dye almost got a foul on that on a reach-in. That could have easily been a reach around behind. One nice thing about Scott as an official, he's very consistent and he lets kids play a little bit. He'll let them bump and bang as long as it doesn't get out of hand.
All right, Tim Schmidt for Columbia City. We're tied at 3. Across the timeline, gives the top of the key to Shively. Now he looks over things, goes left, spins left, he's bumped. That pass batted away, almost stolen. Now into the corner, wild scramble for it. And apparently John Pettigrew laying on the end line, so it's turnover Columbia City.
Well,
he called time.
Going to get a timeout here. It's a 30-second timeout. The reason for that timeout is that we are not making very good adjustments. We're coming down the floor, and normally we're able to get, we're a very disciplined team, and the Eagles are able to get in their offense quickly. What's happened because of the defensive changes that Northwood has thrown at us, in that they're playing a man when they don't score and a box and one when they do, is Schmidt's got to come across the timeline and identify things. He's got to look, see what defense they're in, call out an appropriate offense, and all 5 guys aren't on the same page. Because when they're running a junk defense like a box and one, you can't run your straight zone offenses. You can't run your straight man offenses. You almost have to run some semblance of a motion where there's just a whole lot of screening.
All right, Columbia City's ball out of bounds after the 30-second timeout. Schmidt gets it into Dye, left corner. He comes all the way up top to Shively with it now. He tries the right side, and he carries the ball as he enters the lane. You don't see that called very often.
No, and Trevor's probably gotten away with that 100 times this season.
Yeah.
He's right. He kind of does that Allen Iverson thing where he gets his hand under the basketball. Great deal when he dribbles it.
So still 3-3. Turnovers galore here early. Bradley across the timeline for Northwood. Hands it off right side, and that's going to be Robbie Lightfoot out there. He has the 3 points for Northwood. Wait a minute, we have a stolen pass, but we have a foul underneath on Pettigrew.
Got to hold on Pettigrew. Boy, guarding attempted to cut through the lane.
We were going the other way with that one for a minute.
Boylan's doing a nice job on Lightfoot. He is just all over him.
So John Pettigrew's first, the team's second, 5:43 for the first. There's a three on the way by Klaus, scores! As they work the inbound play to perfection, it's 6-3 Northwood. Now Boylan has it to Schmidt in the backcourt. Schmidt will work it up across the timeline. Bradley bothers him a bit. Now Schmidt gets around him, left side with it, Bob Dye. Left corner, Ryan Boylan fakes the three, tries the left baseline. Nice pass on the right side to Schmidt, but he's in traffic and gets it off to Pettigrew. Right wing on the arc. John fakes, spins into the middle, goes up with the shot. Oh, doesn't get the roll, but draws the Northwood foul.
Nice job putting the ball on the floor, taking it to hold strong and picking up the foul.
So Northwood's first foul of the evening. We'll try to get that one here for you.
And actually, that's the only the second shot we've taken. And what are we, 2 minutes and about 36 seconds into this quarter? That's only the second shot we've had.
We're 2:46 into it. It is the 6-3 Northwood. John Pettigrew to the free throw line, short. And the foul is on Willie Will, his first for Northwood. So still 6-3 in favor of the Panthers. John will have another one. He was short on the first, fires that one, scores 6-4.
A nice thing to see so far is the Maroon is very composed. Kids are under control. They're not awed by the situation or the crowd.
And Bradley gets loose on the right baseline, puts up the layup wide open, and he scores. It's 8-4 in favor of Northwood. Now Schmidt back across the timeline now. As we're under 5 minutes for the first, Schmidt works left, now right, top of the key, gets it off to Shively, loads it up for three from the right wing, scores! Trevor Shively. Oh. And it's 8-7 now. Now Northwood quickly back underneath. Willie Will blocked, but we have a foul on Columbia City.
You know, that's 2 times in a row, and I know Chris has got to be upset by this. They have just simply beat us down the floor, not in a fast break, but they've gotten into their offensive set before we've been ready defensively.
So the Columbia City foul, well, let's see, it's team's third, Ryan Boylan, guilty of the assessment. So let's see, what do we have on the clock here? We're kind of impeded by...
well, there's a basket that, you know...
4:44.
Retractable basket, and it just so happens the basket blocks out the score and the time. But we can see how many fouls there are quite clearly.
Willie Will scores the free throw. So it's now 9-7 Northwood. And Willie will have another one coming as Ian Hewer sees his first action of the night. Boylan sits down.
And that's a straight defensive move and a pretty good one.
And Willie Will scores that one, so it's 10-7 Northwood.
I would say if there's a surprise at this point, Andrew, it's got to be the quickness of Northwood. They are quick. Much quicker than they look like on film.
Now Bob Dye has it across the timeline to Ian Hewer, wide right, now in the right corner on the baseline. Schmidt up top, Shively. Shively loads it for three from the right side. That's short. Rebound out of there to Reynolds. They're going to run the other way. Will quickly across the timeline, spins into the middle, layup up and good.
Oh, what a nice move that was. He took a sideways dribble as if he was going to take the ball to the corner, crossed over and cut it right down the heart of the lane and straight to the basket. Beautiful move.
12-7 Northwood as they have a little bit of a surge. Schmidt across the timeline, left corner with it. Trevor Shively, interior pass good to Pettigrew on the baseline. We have a Northwood foul on the interior pass.
I think that's going to be on Lightfoot from behind. Any relation to Gordon?
I don't know. Gordon Lightfoot, musician there. All right. You are correct, Jerry. Lightfoot, the assessment. Team second for Northwood. Columbia City's ball out of bounds. Tim Schmidt looks to send it in. Gets it all the way up top to Shively out by midcourt, left side. Now we'll move it right of the key to Tim Schmidt. And Schmidt all the way up top. We move up on straight up 4 minutes for the first quarter. 12-7 Northwood. Schmidt works the right side. Left side Ian Hewer. Left baseline corner Shively. Fakes the three. Doesn't take it. Guarded heavily. Now Hewer top the key. Wide right Schmidt with it. On the arc. He comes back left side now. And works it further down the left wing to Ian Hewer. Now Schmidt back on the right side. Fakes. Spins into the lane. Takes to the basket. Puts it up. Doesn't get the roll. Heavy contact. Ball loose on the floor. Jump ball.
Yes, we are not making a very good adjustment in that, you know, Tim put the ball on the floor and says, okay, I've beaten my man. But in his zone, he beat his man and dribbled right in the teeth of 2 other guys. We're just not picking up that, and because they've scored the last 3 times down the floor, they're playing that box and one. Shively's not getting good screens, and we're not getting very good movement offensively right now.
Possession Columbia City on the jump ball. Now Schmidt with it right side. Now he needs help, gets it up top to Shively. And 3:30, I think, left in the first quarter. Ian Hewer now, left side, right side, Schmidt. Schmidt looks, needs help. Interior feed to Pettigrew. He's bothered by 2 defenders. Fakes, kicks it out. Bob Dye for 3 from the left wing. Doesn't get the roll. In and out, no good. Rebound out there to Will. They run it up the floor quickly across the timeline. Lightfoot, left side. He tries the left baseline. Double team. Lightfoot gets it up top to Reynolds. Beyond the arc, left side. Now in the left corner, it's Willie Will with it. And all the way up top of the key now, Bradley. Bradley moves into the middle. He's stripped by Tim Schmidt. Schmidt has it in the backcourt for Columbia City on the steal. Now across the timeline, Tim works it right side and now left. Tim Schmidt around his man, now kicks it out to Shively. And Shively will drive to the left side. A runner, fade away, long, no good. Bob Dye, the rebound, puts it up, scores on the layup.
Boy, is that important to get Bob his bucket in the first quarter.
Now here's Northwood quickly back. Pass stolen by Ian Hewer to Trevor Shively. And Shively races across the timeline, and they want to slow it down. It's a 12-9 now in favor of Columbia, or Northwood.
Bobby,
Bob Dye, wide open for 3, doesn't get the roll. Rebound under the Hewer, puts it up, scores. Ian Hewer, too. It's 12-11. So a little bit of a surge by Columbia City. 2:20 for the first quarter. 12-11. Northwood across the timeline. Now Bradley. Bradley works the left side. He's got the baseline all day. Puts up the layup. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound Hewer. Who gives it off to Schmidt. Columbia City across the timeline. Has a chance to take their first lead of the night. Hewer all the way up top. Left wing with it. Now Schmidt. Schmidt looks it over. Up top now Shively. Wide right Ian Hewer. On the arc. Hewer still holds the ball on the right side. Interior pass good to Pettigrew. Pass batted away. Stolen by Northwood. And go the other way. Bradley across the timeline for the Panthers. Top of the key. Shakes and bakes on Schmidt, but doesn't get around him. Now pitches it off left side, and that's Klaus. Klaus dribbles in the middle. Pass batted away. Stolen.
Nice defense by Pettigrew.
And here's Shively across timeline. Trip, no call. He gives it up Pettigrew left side baseline corner. Minute and a half for the first quarter. Now Schmidt all the way up top. It's still 12-11 Northwood. And Hewer, right side on the arc. Cross court to Tim Schmidt. Schmidt fakes the 3, doesn't take it. Now Bob Dye fakes the 3, doesn't take it. Moves into the basket, puts it up, blocked. Gets it a rebound, puts it up, scores! Gets out for the foul.
Bob was just relentless. Just absolutely relentless. He had a chance for a 3, passed it up, took the ball to the basket, and made a little float through the air, missed the shot and stayed right with it, and rather than bring the ball down by his waist, kept the ball up very high and got the stick back.
So Columbia City with their first lead of the night, 13-12. And the foul on Bradley of Northwood, team's third, his first. Bob Dye shoots and scores on the free throw. So 14-12 Columbia City.
I see Boylan is in for Trevor Shively. Good move. Trevor is really hyper right now. Pretty good move. Just set him down, let him get a drink, calm down just a bit.
Across the timeline, Reynolds all the way, cross court, wide open to the corner for 3. Klaus scores! Northwood back in the lead, 15-14.
They don't seem to work quite as hard for their points as we do for ours.
They chuck it up from anywhere, Jerry. Schmidt across the timeline. Northwood leads by 1. 55 seconds for the first quarter. Left side, Boylan with it. All the way up top the key. Hewer, nice pass down to Pettigrew. Puts it up, scores the layup.
Pass by Hewer. And Pettigrew had sealed his man on his rear end, and Hewer led him perfectly like a Dan Marino pass.
Bradley across the timeline for Northwood. 16-15 Columbia City. Left side with it is Klaus. Klaus, bothered by Pettigrew, gets it all the way up top to Bradley. Perhaps Northwood will play for one shot with 30 seconds. And it's Klaus all the way over to Lightfoot, almost stolen by Boylan. Now left corner, Reynolds with it, on the arc. Reynolds now in the corner, Willie Will with it. Will, pass batted away by Hewer, gets around him. Now tries the right baseline, gets it all the way out left side, now to Bradley.
Hewer with a nice trip that he just got away with.
13 seconds for Northwood. All the way out top, it's going to be Bradley. Bradley left side with it. The corner is Klaus. Now further down to the corner, it's Willie Will on the baseline. 5 seconds. Pass almost still in the mid-court. Columbia City with the steal. Bob Dye off left side. Stops from 12 feet. Puts it up. Score! Yeah! All right. And that basket counts as it just beat the first quarter buzzer. Columbia City 18, Northwood 15 at the end of quarter number 1.
Well, we'll get to underwriters, then we'll stick some 2 cents worth.
Woo! Star Financial Bank, a full-service bank with branches in Columbia City, South Whitley, Cherubusco, and Fort Wayne, including the Frank Road branch in Columbia City. Star Financial Bank, 248-6000. Smith Brothers, go ahead.
Smith Brothers Standard Service Station on North Main Street, just south of Highway 30. Smith Brothers features 24-hour wrecker service. They repair all makes of vehicles. That's Smith Brothers, 244-5904. Thompson's Whitley County Motors, located at 300 East and US 30 in Columbia City. Your full-service General Motors dealer offering new and used car, truck sales, leasing, and financing. Thompson's also offers mechanical and body repair, along with parts and accessories. All since 1919, Thompson's General Motors. Andrew, I'm so thrilled that the Eagles have come out and they have not been intimidated in the slightest. They haven't been pretty. You know, Northwood has actually been much more organized and much more aesthetically beautiful, but they're behind on the scoreboard. If I'm Chris, though, one thing that worries me, the pace of this game and the scoring of this game is not our pace. That's not our game.
We're going to have to hold the ball a little more.
Well, you know, both teams right now have got about an 8-second shot clock.
The Northwood's possession to begin the second quarter. It's 18-15 on the board, and it's Northwood with it. Bradley all the way up top. Now he calls the play. He's bothered by Tim Schmidt. Heavy defense put on by Schmidt. Bradley works it over right side to Lightfoot. Now further down the right wing, it's Klaus. Klaus, bothered by Pettigrew, gets it off to Willie Will in the corner. Now interior pass good to Reynolds. He fakes, spins, kicks it out to Klaus. Klaus, left wing. Here's Willie Will for three. Scores! Top of the key, Willie Will.
Well, so far they have 4 different players that have a three-pointer.
They're tough. Tied at 18. Here it comes.
We talked about that in the outset. Yep. They shoot the basketball very well.
Bob Dye left side with it in the corner now. Ian Hewer down on the baseline. Comes all the way up top to Tim Schmidt. Wide right, Ryan Boylan fakes the three. Doesn't take it. Pulls it up for 15. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound fought for. Into the hands of... Oh my, they're going to get a Columbia City foul out of that scramble.
That was on Hewer. He kind of got a little bit feisty inside there. In fact, he's gotten away with a couple fouls before this, so I guess one being called at this point doesn't hurt that bad.
All right, so Ian Hewer, his first, team fourth. So Northwood's possession out of bounds. 7:13 for the second quarter. We're tied at 18 here at the pit in Napanee.
Shively's checked back in. Boylan takes a seat.
Here comes Bradley for the Panthers across the timeline. Schmidt meets him there. Left side with it. Rory Klaus now. Klaus all the way up top to Willie Will. He just got the three. Interior pass to a wide open Bradley. Scores the layup.
Boy, he got a great screen underneath there from Lightfoot. He really set a nice screen.
Now pressure across the timeline. Bob Dye as he goes all the way to the basket. He goes off left side to Pettigrew. Fakes, drives in the middle, loses the handle. And we're going to have a jump ball. Possession will go to Columbia City, as it was Lightfoot and Pettigrew getting tied up.
Okay, now who scored that last basket for them? You know me, I was too excited.
Klaus, Rory Klaus.
Thank you.
No problem.
You folks don't mind if we interrupt you by asking these mundane questions over the air, do you?
2018 Northwood now, as I think the clock, as we're impeded by the basket, 6:46 for the second quarter. Schmidt in the backcourt with it now. Works it across the timeline. And he's across now, and he's bothered by Bradley on defense for Northwood. Schmidt works it right side. Now he spins it all the way cross court. Interior pass to Pettigrew. Puts it up in the lane. Scores.
The key to that whole thing was Pettigrew set a great screen, and the old adage is pass the ball to the screener, not the guy coming off the screener. Two guys jumped out on Shively. Pettigrew was wide open in the lane.
20-20. Now it's Northwood back with Klaus all the way up top to Reynolds. Reynolds spins it into Willie Will. Turn around in the lane. Battered around. No good. Possession Northwood. They put it up. No good. Rebound battled for. Hewer has it. Gets it off to Shively. Throws it out of bounds.
And he really didn't have to do that. You know, he was on one knee, and I know he was afraid he was going to travel, but he really had the opportunity to just kind of relax for a second because he didn't have a whole lot of pressure.
So, a wild fray there as Northwood missed two bunnies underneath.
Yeah, but they may have been bunnies, but they were in the middle of a shooting patch. There were all kinds of folks in there banging around when they were shooting those two-footers.
All right, to send it in, Willie Will in the left corner. Check that right corner. Now it's Klaus. Interior pass back to Willie Will. Spins in the lane, puts it up short. Rebound Ian Hewer. It's Schmidt has it stolen away from behind. Bradley with it. Puts it up. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound fought for. Columbia City comes away with it. Hewer has it. Gives it up to Schmidt.
Well, we're learning a real valuable lesson. Take care of the basketball. Don't take anything for granted.
Schmidt across the timeline with it now. Works the left side to Boylan. We're tied at 20. 6:46 for the second quarter. Boylan left wing with it. He'll try the left side. Comes back all the way up top to Tim Schmidt. Top of the key. Right side Ian Hewer with it on the arc. Hewer up top. Boylan fakes the three. Doesn't take it. Drives into the lane. Pass batted away. Stolen by Northwood.
I'll tell you what. These Northwood kids have got quick hands. My goodness, do they have quick hands.
And here's a layup and a score. Willie Will.
And that's just a matter once again of not getting back very quickly. Nope, their guys wanted it worse than ours did, so they beat us down the floor.
22-20 Northwood. Schmidt across the timeline with it. Up top. Schmidt will work the right side, uses a Pettigrew screen, gets it off to Shively. Now wide right with it, Boylan, right of the key. Now further down the right wing, Schmidt. Up top, Ian Hewer. And the right corner, Tim Schmidt. Fakes, doesn't do anything. Now gets it up to Shively. Shively almost travels, spins into the lane, puts it up for 15. That's a brick. Rebound out of there to Bradley. Bradley up across the timeline.
Really rushing his shots. He's not getting his feet set or his shoulders squared.
Klaus down to Willie Well, right baseline, turnaround shot, good.
We got a problem. We got a problem.
24-20 Northwood, 4:40 for the second.
And you can feel momentum shift very decisively.
Now there's Tim Schmidt across the timeline. He works left. Uses a screen. Now he gets, doesn't have help yet. Now gets it all the way with Ryan Boylan, wide right side. Boylan will look over the defense, gives it off left side of the key to Pettigrew. Nice interior pass to Ian Hewer, puts up the layup, scores.
Great look by Pettigrew. Hewer made a nice cut and just beat his man along the baseline.
24-22 Northwood. Back across the timeline, Bradley for the Panthers. He's bothered up top by Schmidt. Bradley with it. Will work the right side. Now in the right corner, Rory Klaus with it. Klaus all the way up top, Reynolds. Reynolds drives the left side. We're going to have a touch foul on Columbia City. Foul on the floor.
Get Boylan for playing Tony and riding him pretty hard.
All right, so Columbia City's 15 foul. 4:06 for the second quarter. 24-22 Northwood. Ball out of bounds on the common foul. And now we see Wes Gardner and Bob Dye on. And Boylan and Pettigrew will sit.
Pettigrew is pooped.
Yeah, he's working hard.
He set some mean picks and really had the battle on the board.
Bradley, interior pass to Well, kicks it out to Klaus, fakes the three, pulls up from 18, doesn't get the roll, rebound Bob Dye. And he gets it off to Tim Schmidt, will go the other way.
All right, let's get Bobby back in the offense. He's had a little bit of a break. Let's get Bob involved here, guys.
Tim Schmidt across the timeline. He'll work it left side. Uses a screen set by Bob Dye. Now he gets it off Trevor Shively. Fakes the three, doesn't take it right at the key. Now he holds possession. Now gives it up to Bob Dye. Right corner with it all the way up top. Now it's Hewer. Now wide left Schmidt. Schmidt now left corner to Shively. Loads it up for three. That's an air ball. Rebound Hewer and throws it off a Northwood player. A great move there.
Hustle play by Hewer. And again, Shively did not have his feet set. He is such a competitive kid, and he wants to win so bad.
Yep.
He's a little bit out of control emotionally right now, and Chris is sitting him down for exactly that
That's
reason.
Scott Moore on, 24?
Yes, and that's not a punishment thing. That's just a thing about Trevor.
Now all the way in the backcourt. Hewer with it. Across the timeline, wide right is Schmidt. Schmidt out on the arc. Columbia City trails by 2. 3:30 for the second quarter. Now Schmidt, right side, all the way up top to Hewer now. Left side with it, Wes Gardner. Right side, Schmidt. Schmidt pulls up in the lane, doesn't take it. Gets it out to Ian Hewer. He'll drive the right baseline. He's trapped, double team. Gets it up top to Tim Schmidt. Loads it up for three. Scores!
Big bucket, big bucket. Columbia Schmitty to open things up.
Columbia City's lead, 25-24. 3 minutes straight up for the second quarter. Across the timeline with it is Klaus, or Bradley checked that. Bradley top the key. Left side with it, Robbie Lightfoot. Lightfoot bothered there by Scott Moore. Lightfoot gets it off right side to Bradley. Schmidt's got the defense on Bradley. Bradley goes down the left side, right side check that. Now all the way up top, Willie Will. Now Bradley with it. Bradley looks it over as Columbia City.
Set play. Going to call a set play. Look for screens on the baseline.
Now there's Bradley.
There it is.
Left side, Robbie Lightfoot. Interior pass. Touchdown. Boom. Easy one there. Layup. Willie Will or Eric Reynolds on the finish.
It's awful easy to see it coming from up here, isn't it, Andrew?
Yep. 26-25 Northwood. Ian Hewer back across the timeline with it. Wow. Left side. And he works right side to Tim Schmidt. Schmidt, left open for three. Fires. Scores.
Schmidt says, I'll punish you, baby. I'll make you feel real bad.
28-26 Columbia City. Here comes Northwood across the timeline. 2:05 for the second quarter. Now wide right with it's going to be Klaus. Klaus with an interior pass for Willie Will. He spins it away, throws it out of bounds into the Columbia City bench. So we'll go the other way.
You know what? This is the first time, and there was about 2 minutes ago when Northwood had a nice little run going, and we were back on our heels.
Yep.
Schmidt drains 2 threes, and all of a sudden, you see the Northwood kids going. It's like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kids. Who are those guys?
Now Tim Schmidt with it on the Northwood turnover across the timeline. And we're down to 150 for the second quarter. Schmidt works the right side. Now interior pass good to John. Pettigrew turns, puts it up, scores.
Pettigrew had about 5 seconds to be wide open down there. He's like, where's the defense at?
30-26, Columbia City. Now across the timeline with it, Bradley. And he works the left side now, and Schmidt bothers him. Bradley with it. And he throws interior to Reynolds. That kicks it out for three by Klaus left side. That's no good. Rebound Scott Moore. Moore gets it off to Schmidt. Tim in the backcourt will slow it down. And we're down to 120 now for the second quarter. Schmidt across the timeline with it. Wide right side, Schmidt. needs help, doesn't have it yet. Now right baseline, Bob Dye has it, puts it up from 15, scores! Bob Dye give him 2 more, 32-26, Columbia City. Here comes Ryan Bradley across the timeline for Northwood. Columbia City fans to their feet.
And folks, I have got goosebumps. The maroon and gold are on their feet, and it is a din in here.
Well, all the way up top, Reynolds spins in, layup up and good. Basket counts in the foul. Willie Worrell gets the basket.
They're going to get Pettigrew for number 2 on a hip.
And we've got 53.5 on the clock, second quarter. Big play there for Northwood.
And a good foul. That was a good call.
32-28, give the basket to Willie Worrell. The 6'3 senior for Northwood. He'll have a chance for a three-point play. John Pettigrew picks up his second. He'll be coming out of the game as Ryan Boylan checks in.
Scott Moore checks out, and Heward checks in. And Scott Moore's like, I was just getting comfortable out here, guys. Coach, I got a rebound. I got a rebound. You got to leave me in the game.
It was a big
regional during crunch time.
Willie Will scores the free throw. 32-29. Pressure in the backcourt by Northwood. Schmidt has it. Sends it all the way into Bob Dye, left side. Now back in the center of the court is Tim Schmidt. He'll walk it slowly up in the backcourt. And we're down to 45 seconds. Schmidt across the timeline, left side with it. Now Ryan Boylan in the left corner. All the way up top, Shively with it. We're down to 40 seconds. Right side, Bob Dye. Dye looks left side now, and now it's Hewer. Hewer goes right side to Boylan, outside the arc. Boylan looks over the defense. Right corner's Bob Dye. Fakes the 3. All the way up top, Schmidt. We're down to 26 seconds. Now up top, Shively with it. Shively looks things over, gets the interior pass to Dye, fakes the shot from the free throw line, doesn't take it, backs out, gives it off to Boylan right side. We're down to 15 seconds for the half. Boylan gets it all the way up top to Schmidt. Columbia City leads by 3. We're down to 10 seconds. Schmidt, left side Bob Dye up top, Tim Schmidt. Schmidt works the right side, left side Shively for 3. Boom! Score! 1 second, Willie Will at the buzzer! No!
Turn off the lights. Let's go home right now.
All right. And we have halftime here at the Big Barn, the Pit in Napanee. Columbia City, if I can see that scoreboard right, says 35-29. The leaders over Northwood here at half. Woo! Boy, Trevor Shively finally shook loose, and he got a wide open look at it.
But see, the difference was he had his feet set that time, and he was under control.
Wow, what a half, folks. Glad you're with us tonight on WJHS 91.5 FM. Hey, I want to check with our spotter here. That does say 35-29 down there, right? Okay. I just want to make sure. I'm kind of impeded, so.
You know, speaking of people listening out there, I've got some folks from out in Tunker. The Hilligoffs say they listen to us all the time, Andrew. Don't get an opportunity to get to many of the ball games, but they said they're religious listeners.
All right, well, we like that. We've got several old Wiley veterans and young fans and everything else. So, boy, we've got a huge strong up. We know the mayor of Laud, Harold Wentz, probably, and among others, Buck Buchanan and Keith Kissinger, and right on down the line. Sorry, I can't remember everybody, but
you know,
got a lot of them out there.
Right now, the last thing we want to do is be at halftime. It's like that going.
The momentum was going.
Couldn't we just, postpone halftime for a couple minutes? And for Danny Gunn, halftime couldn't come often enough. I would like to be a fly in his locker room, but I don't think we could put microphones down there because that man had steam coming out of his ears.
Yeah, it's boy, what a half that was. So our underwriters for this evening's contest include the Star Financial Bank, a full-service bank with branches in Columbia City, South Whitley, Cherubusco, and Fort Wayne, including the Frontage Road branch in Columbia City, 248-6000. Smith Brothers, standard service station on North Main Street, just south of Highway 30. Smith Brothers features 24-hour record service and repair all makes of vehicles. Smith Brothers, 244-5904. Thompson Whitley County Motors, located at 300 East US 30, Columbia City. Your full-service General Motors dealer offering new and used car and truck sales, leasing, and financing. Thompson's also offers mechanical and body repair along with parts and accessories, all since 1919 as Thompson's General Motors. McGregor Furniture at 301 West Van Buren Street in Columbia City. McGregor Furniture offers a complete line of Broyhill furniture, catnapper recliners, and much, much more. McGregor Furniture located at the intersection of Van Buren and Line Street in Columbia City. Myers, Tyson, Hockemeyer, McNagny, attorneys at law, providing legal services to individuals and businesses of Whitley County from their offices in downtown Columbia City. That's Myers, Tyson, Hockemeyer, and McNagny, attorneys at law. And the Right Side Christian School, 1550 East State Road, 205 in Columbia City. Right Side Christian School provides a non-denominational Christian atmosphere for a quality education with an emphasis on character building. All teachers are fully licensed, and classes meet Tuesday through Friday for ages preschool through 8th grade, including all-day kindergarten. Contact Right Side Christian School, 248-4872. And, boy, what a wild one here tonight.
I'm ready for a nap.
You're ready for a nap? Well, you've got some stats, I think. We'll take a nap now.
We're not quite sure if they're right or not, but I've got some scribble marks down here, so we'll see. For the Northwood Panthers, got Reynolds with a bucket for 2, Lightfoot with the three-pointer in the first quarter for 3, Bradley for a beautiful backdoor cut early in the game for 1 basket for 2 points, Klaus for 2 threes in the first quarter and a 2 in the second for a total of 8. And their big gun to this point so far has been Will. I've got him for 14 with 4 twos, a 3, and 3 for 3 from the free throw line.
He's been big
as a team, and it's been off great passing. And before we get to Columbia City stats, say, well, okay, what are each team going to emphasize? Right now, one of the things that Chris is really emphasizing, Andrew, is, gentlemen, we've given up 29 points. But of that 29, someplace between 8 and 12 has been they have out-hustled us down the floor. They've gotten down and they've got a bucket before we've been set defensively.
Yep.
Now, if we were back in a defensive set, let's cut that 8 to 10 in half, make it 5. We've now got ourselves about a 6 or 7 point lead, whole different ball game. For the Eagles, and it's not often, not very possible even, to make me look halfway decent. But Bob Dye leading the way with 10 points, and we said he was going to have to come up big.
We needed him.
Dye's got 3 twos, a three-pointer, and 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Shively started out quick, got a great three-pointer at the beginning, and ended it with a flash with Drain and a 3 for his 6 points. Tim Schmidt with 2 big threes that literally changed the momentum of the entire second quarter. Northwood was on an 8-0 run, an 8-1 run at that time. We were back on our heels. Schmidt comes down and rattles in a 3. We get a steal. Schmidt's man falls down. He drains another 3, and suddenly it's the Northwood kids who have got that glazed look on their face. So 6 big points for Tim. Ryan Boylan hit a 3 very early in the first quarter for his 3 points. Hewer had 2 backdoor cuts, really played some terrific defense and worked hard on the boards for his 2 buckets for 4 points. And John Pettigrew, the workhorse underneath, he's kind of our Clydesdale. He had 3 buckets, 1 for 2 from the line for 7. For the Eagles, total of 35. Columbia City, 2 for 3 from the line. Northwood, 3 for 3. Fouls pretty even. Northwood committed 3 fouls. Columbia City 5. Only person in the game with more than 1 foul is John Pettigrew.
Oh boy, and we don't want to see him get any more. We do have a halftime score here we got from down press row here, and this concerns our other county team in action tonight, Whitco, and they trail at halftime in hosting their regional game at Northfield High School. It's Benton Central 36 over the Whitco Wildcats 24 at half. So good luck to Whitco, and hopefully they can get back and
boy, that'd be terrific. Wouldn't that
win a regional? Yeah.
Can you imagine? This county will be empty. If Columbia City plays Whitco in the semi-state, we'll have to leave like a couple dogs home to watch.
We might have to.
Because it'll be empty.
Boy, and hopefully Whitco can get a strong comeback, but they do trail by 12 at half. That's at Northfield High School tonight, as Whitco hosting Benton Central in a one-game regional there in 3A. So, and the ironic thing, that may be the last chance Columbia City and Whitco have of playing in this tournament again, as Columbia City heads back for 4A again, and probably with our enrollment keeps growing.
Don't get me started.
Well, I'm not going to get you started.
Don't get me started on this class garbage.
Well, we could sit here all night and argue about that. We'd be here all night, but maybe the one and only rare opportunity for Columbia City and Whitco to meet again. Of course, foes over the years.
I'll tell you what, if that would happen to happen, it would be just like the old sectional of Columbia City. The Frankfurt gym would be packed, and all those folks would be from Whitley County. I'm telling you, oh, mercy, would that be something.
Of course, other teams in action tonight in the NHC, Belmont hosting Muncie Southside. They could end up in Frankfort if they win.
I'll tell you what, if Belmont can get by Muncie Southside, they can go to the final game of the state with the way that's laid out for them. That is really a nice setup. Southside's going to be tough to get by because they got some great athletes on that squad.
Of course, the other game that feeds into that is Hammond Knoll and, oh boy, the other team's escaping me. But anyway, from the region up there, that's the other one that feeds into the Frankfort semi-state. But
doesn't say too much about this conference, does it? And Carroll wins last night.
Yeah, I went to that game. Well, I wish every game was like that. Now they were fighting to get in out there and fighting for tickets.
Good.
And
that's the way it's supposed to be.
East Noble and Carroll had a Donnybrook last night. Carroll come out on top on that one, but
well, let's look. We got East Noble and Carroll both win sectionals. Columbia City wins a sectional. Belmont wins a sectional. New Haven, of course, we eliminated. DeKalb's 20-0 and the only undefeated team going into the state tournament. Now, that's a pretty good conference, folks.
Yes,
that's
it is.
a pretty good conference.
Well, both teams back on the floor here. We've got about, I think, 2:10, I think the clock says, until we start her up again. And, boy, what a hap. You'd like to put that late burst there in a bottle, wouldn't you, and contain it and say, hey, this is what's going to happen in the third quarter. But you know that it doesn't always work that way.
Well, the nice part about it is that, two or threefold. Negative, you got Pettigrew with 2 fouls. And this kind of situation, as fired up as these kids are going to be, it's going to be real easy for him to pick up a third silly foul. Good point. Dye's honed in. He is really focused offensively. Okay. And the other thing is that, we put, 30 points on 35 points 35. On board, and Shively's got 6, and that was the first 3 of the game and the last 3 of the quarter. In the second quarter, and no offense, he was out of control in between. He was really
pumped.
Oh, mercy. And, again, it's his competitive nature.
Yeah, he's very competitive.
After he hit that 3, you'd think it was the state finals. He had a vertical leap of about 45 inches. I think he almost came up here over the top deck of the railing and gave you a high five. He was up so high.
Yeah, boy, what an enthusiastic start for Shively and the rest of the Eagles, as we will be coming towards us in this half as we are situated on the east balcony here at the pit.
And I kind of like this because one of the things that's tough is when we were at the other end of the floor, the Northwood student body stands throughout the entire game, and it's wrapped around because there's bleachers at the other end. So it's almost as if you're in a little bit of a cave, and the noise down there for our guys has got to be extremely distracting. Nothing down at this end. There are no bleachers behind the basket over here.
All right, so Northwood back to the court. It will be their possession to begin quarter number 3 here. Class 3A regional title on the line here.
And it's time for Jerry's broken record. The first 4 minutes.
Yes, the first 4 minutes.
4 minutes. If our guys are under control and Northwood hasn't made too many adjustments that we can adapt to, baby, this one's going down to the wire.
All right, Reynolds to send it in for Northwood. Gets it into Bradley. Bradley in the backcourt, bothered by Schmidt. We're just underway third quarter. Columbia City's lead is 6. Now, all the way wide right, Reynolds. Reynolds up top. Now needs help. Doesn't have it yet. Now gets it to Willie. Willie spins into the lane. Puts it up. No good. It's a brick. Puts it back up. No. Heavy contact. He puts it up and scores on the third try. And
my goodness, you give somebody an opportunity from 2 feet away 3 times, sooner or later, ball's going to go in the basket. That's 16 for him.
Now Schmidt across the timeline. 35-31 Northwood. Columbia City, check that. Schmidt with it. Right side on the arc is Boylan. Right corner, John Pettigrew. Pettigrew works it all the way up top to Bob Dye. Left side, Schmidt. Now left corner, it's Boylan. Goes up top to Schmidt now. On the left side of the arc. He's bothered there closely by Lightfoot. Gets it off wide right to Bob Dye. Gets around his man and throws it to Boylan. Wild pass goes sailing into the bleachers.
Well, Dye beat his man as he went to the basket. The defense kind of collapsed, and he caught Boylan out of the corner of his eye and made a great pass to the corner. And I think Ryan just thought that Bob was going all the way to the basket. He wasn't really prepared for that.
Here's a Tim Schmidt steal. Heavy contact on the backcourt, but Schmidt has it. He'll settle it down. Surprised they didn't call him for traveling, as he was bumped. He gets it across the timeline, however. Wide right with it, check that Bob Dye. All the way top the key now, Shively with it. Now Ryan Boylan, right side of the key. And he needs help. Right corner with it, Bob Dye. He drives the right baseline, goes up against Will, puts it up, an air ball over the basket, and he traveled as Northwood got the rebound and traveled. So a big break there.
And Shively just kind of gave him the old surprise move. He didn't really try to steal it. He just kind of jumped out in front of him and scared the bejesus out of him. And he jumped and went whoop and hopped with both feet.
Now Schmidt looks to get it in all the way to Boyle. That pass going to be batted away, stolen. Here we go the other way. Lightfoot, 3-on-1 Northwood. Will Reynolds the layup. Tied off Coach Benedict. And he gets the, well, we're going to call time. Timeout Columbia City as Northwood gets the first 4 points of this second half.
Star Financial Bank, a full-service bank with branches in Columbia City, South Whitley, Cherubusco, and Fort Wayne, including the Frontage Road branch in Columbia City. Star Financial Bank, 248-6000. Smith Brothers Standard Service Station on North Main Street, just south of Highway 30. Smith Brothers features 24-hour wrecker service, and they repair all makes of vehicles. That's Smith Brothers, 244-5904.
Okay, Northwood gets the first 4 points, makes Columbia City a 6-point halftime lead, now down to 2.
Well, we haven't had to see them in a half-court set yet, but one thing we do see is it's as if they're taking us for real. I mean, their defense is a little bit more intense. They're a little bit quicker offensively rather than just go through the motions, and we saw them get offensive stickbacks, which we had held them only off one offensive rebound in the first half.
Now Trevor Shively tops the key with it for the Eagles. Eagles lead by 2. Now left corner, Tim Schmidt. Schmidt comes all the way up top. Spins into the lane. Kicks it off left side of Boylan. Left corner, Shively left alone for 3. That's long. Rebound front floor. John Pettigrew has it. Heavy contact. He's knocked down. They call traveling. Wow.
We may have even caught a break on that, though. Pettigrew did travel, and he did get knocked down, but in order to get the rebound, he went over somebody's back, so he could have easily picked up that third foul.
Silver lining there, Jerry. Across the timeline, Bradley for the Panthers. Now wide right with its Clout. And Northwood has a chance to tie or take the lead. Robbie Lightfoot misses on a three-pointer. Shively the rebound. So Columbia City will come the other way. Now here comes Schmidt.
This is a little bit more to our rhythm.
Yep. Schmidt across the timeline. Left side with it now. Left corner, Shively fakes the three, doesn't take it. Comes all the way up top to Tim Schmidt. Now wide right side is Bob Dye. Dye surveys traffic, drives to the basket. Now kicks it out for Shively. Now all the way up top, Schmidt again. Tim looks left side to Ryan Boylan on the arc. Now further down to the left corner, Shively with it. Shively all the way up top, Bob Dye. Now right side, Tim Schmidt loads it up for 3. In and out, no good. Rebound, Sean Pettigrew puts it up, scores.
Beautiful
on the rebound.
By Pettigrew. He went up soft, got the rebound, gave a head fake, knew he had it cleared out, and just went ahead and got his rebound. Bob Dye on a steal.
Bob Dye bats the air and pass away, and it's in the hands of Tim Schmidt. Columbia City's lead is 4. We'll go the other way. 4:55 for the third quarter. Schmidt across the timeline. Wide right with it now is Dye. Dye looks it over. Now to the right corner, Boylan. All the way up top, Shively with it. Right wing. Now right corner is Bob Dye. Dye dribbles back up top. Now Tim Schmidt. Left side on the wing is Boylan. He tries the left baseline. Goes the basket, puts it up, draws a foul.
Boy, you know, he literally went into an ostrich move on that. When he beat his man coming down the right wing, when he went up for the shot, he felt the guy on his hip, and he kind of kicked his feet out behind him in order to make sure that he drew some kind of contact without the guy being able to block the shot. Great, great move. I don't know if he did it on purpose, but it looked pretty.
Foul on Klaus of Northwood, his first. And it'll be Ryan Boylan to the free throw line. 61% on the season. He fires, scores. 38-33.
I know that those stats are accurate, but do you remember him missing a free throw in about the last month?
No.
He must have missed a ton of them in the beginning then.
Does Northwood actually have their first sub of the evening? I think they do. We'll try to pick that out. 32, Sean Clem in. Ryan Boylan has another one. Columbia City's lead is 5. And no, doesn't get the roll. Boylan in and out, no good.
Of course, I had to say that about he hasn't missed a free throw in a month. You nitwit.
Bradley across the timeline for Northwood. He works it right side. Over there's going to be Clem. Sean Clem for the Panthers. All the way up top, left side. He gives it off to Reynolds. Reynolds beyond the arc, left side. Top of the key now. Kicks it off to Robbie Lightfoot. Check that. It's Bradley. Spins in. Puts it up on the glass. No. Rebound out of there to Trevor Shively. To Tim Schmidt. We'll go the other way. And Schmidt will work it up the left side now. He gets it across the timeline. He's bothered by Bradley. Gets away from him. Now top of the key. Cross court right side. Shively beyond the arc. Now top of the key. Shively works. And in the right corner, Tim Schmidt. Schmidt tries the right baseline. Now kicks it out to Shively. Left side on the wing. Now Tim Schmidt, left corner. He'll come all the way up top to Bob Dye. Now wide right Cross court to Boylan. Now on the right wing, it's Shively. Trevor looks it over. Looks inside for Pettigrew. Doesn't have him. Schmidt up top. Now Bob Dye, left side. Fakes. Pulls up for 15. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound out of there to Will. Will, you got to watch this guy. He's got the hot hand. Ooh, he got away with double. Looked like a palming there. He spins into the lane. Now left side, it's Clem. Left side. Now all the way up top, Reynolds. Reynolds with it. And now off wide right side, Lightfoot. Lightfoot, bothered there by Boylan. Now corner, it's Clem. Clem spins on the right baseline, gets around Bob Dye. Dye blocks it. Now Dye loses the handle. And what do we have? A jump ball.
Or they're going to call a jump, but my goodness, that kid's on Dye's back in order to get his hands on the basketball. Nice move by Bob because he really didn't panic when his man beat him on the baseline. Lightfoot's not quite is actually about a half step slower than Dye is. So even though he beat Dye on the baseline, Bob kind of trailed behind him and said, I'm bigger than you are. It's going to take you an hour and a half to get your shot off. I'll block it.
All right. On the clock now, it's Columbia City's ball in possession.
3:38.
3:38, still on the clock, third quarter, as we're wiping up some perspiration. Columbia City leads at 38-35. Regional championship on the line here at the pit.
Well, you get 4 teenagers dive on the floor in the middle of the third quarter in a packed gym. It's going to be awful sweaty.
All right, 38-33. Now it's into Bob Dye. Pressure in the backcourt. Smith saves it, though. 3-on-2, Columbia City. Smith pulls it off left side. John Pettigrew gets around his man. Scores! Layup.
Pettigrew does such a great job of doing a 2-foot takeoff, and he just really just...
Oh!
Now, that wasn't a foul. You were out of position, for goodness sake.
And the Columbia City, the natives get a
call from a parallel position.
Natives get a little
restless. The angle, for goodness sake.
Natives get a little restless on now, and it's Tim Schmidt off to the races with the steal. Late whistle comes in. They're calling a foul on Schmidt. His second, team first.
Now, you should be proud of me. We've done how many ball games together, and that's the first call all year that I've really raised Cain about.
Yes, you have. All right. So it'll be Northwood's ball and a common foul out of bounds.
And you know the nice part? I can't get text up here.
No, you can't. Lightfoot with it all the way up top. Left side, drives all the way to the basket, puts it up, layup, good.
And Drew just fell asleep. He just absolutely smoked him and went straight to the hole.
40-35 now. Here's pressure in the backcourt, and Northwood's foul. They're going to get the Bronx cheer from the natives across the way. Columbia City fans a little upset with that last call. Is it Lightfoot?
Yeah.
His second. Okay, so pressure, full court put on by Northwood. Smith looks to send it in. Not anybody yet. Gets it into Ian Hewer now. We're down to 2:55, I think, in the third quarter. Yes. Now Smith works it up the left side. Columbia City's lead is 5 across the timeline. Left side with it, Bob Dye. All the way up top now, John Pettigrew. Top of the key. Pettigrew looks, spins right, and gets it off to Shively. Shively all the way top of the key now. Now he needs help. He's double team. Pass batted away, and they draw a foul on Northwood.
Boy, you know, if he couldn't recognize that double team, because they brought 2 guys, one switched and one fought through the pick. They double teamed him at the 10-second line, and he had a man wide open underneath the basket. He just plain and simple couldn't see him.
All right, Lightfoot's third, Jerry.
I like that.
He goes to the bench, and coming on now is Scott Hill.
I would rather have been on Will, but, you know, I'll take 3 fouls on whoever we can get, as long as they're wearing a white jersey.
Now Schmidt in the backcourt across the timeline, down to 2.5 for this third quarter. Pettigrew moves it all the way up top to Bob Dye. Right side with it is Tim Schmidt. Schmidt, right baseline now, John Pettigrew. Fake, spins into the middle, loses the handle, stolen by Will. We go the other way. Willie Will, 1-on-2, kicks it off. Here's Reynolds.
Get Will for a charge. They're going to get Will for a charge. Shively threw it. Nice job.
All right. And now the people get excited on the Northwood side.
And Danny Gunn's pretty incensed right now. He goes into a full squat on that. Oh, my. Be careful, Dan. You might not be able to get back up when you get to be our age.
So Willie Will second, team fourth on Northwood. Full court pressure put on, player control foul, ball out of bounds now to Tim Schmidt.
Will drove to the basket and had a dump off, but when he dumped off, he wasn't able to control his momentum, and they steal it right back. Shively steals it right back, and he loses control. Northwood has the basketball.
3 on the way by Bradley, right corner, that's short, rebound Trevor Shively. Shively races the other way. He's going 1-on-2, he better slow it down. Now gets it off to Ian Hewer. Top of the key, will reset to Shively. Right side of the key, all the way out top. Now throws to Bob Dye here, pass saved by Dye. Now left corner, Ian Hewer with it. All the way up top, Tim Schmidt. 40-35, Columbia City. 150 for the third. Left side, Hewer now with it. All the way up top to Shively. Heavy defense put on by Scott Hill. Shively still has the left side, Bob Dye. He drives in the middle, gets open, puts it up, the layup. Bobby! Now here's Northwood back. Bradley across the timeline. Columbia City's lead is 7. 1:30 for the third quarter. Now it is Bradley. Moves it right side against Schmidt. Gets it off to Klaus over there. Now all the way up top, it's Eric Reynolds. Reynolds top the key, stop there, gets it off right side. Bradley puts it in. Contact and a Columbia City foul.
Are they going to call that on
Shively,
on the hip or on Shively on reach? I think we'd rather have Shively on reach.
So we got
They're
Schmidt.
going to get it on Schmidt. That's 3 on Tim.
All right. So with 1:22 to go in the third.
You know what, Andrew? You think about how Northwood came out and the way in which they ran their offense, and Chris has made some very subtle adjustments defensively. Northwood has not gotten into any kind of offense.
No, they haven't.
Since then. They've beaten us down the floor for some fast break baskets. They've gotten some stick backs, but realistically, since about midway through the second quarter, they have not been in any kind of offensive rhythm.
42-36 now, I think. They never did give him the point. The free throw good by Klaus. They ruled active shooting. Bob Dye comes out of the lineup. And who do we have in now? Boylan is back. Doug Scheckler sees his first action of the evening. Tim Schmidt will sit down with 3 fouls.
And I tell you, right now, Chris is holding his breath, saying, now, we've got an awful lot of kids in here. Boys, just hold on to it. Just be careful. 1:22
for the third. Klaus scores the free throw. 42-37 now. Columbia City, full court pressure put on by Northwood. We're going to have to work our tails off the floor.
Well, you've only got one ball handler on the floor in Shively. You know, Hewer can dribble it up some, but
he gets it into Hewer. Now Shively. Now back to Hewer. Hewer's got room. He'll work it up the right side across the timeline now. Pulls up his dribble, gives it off right side to Pettigrew. Up top, Trevor Shively. He's bothered out there by Bradley. Now he spins left side. Shively gives it off right side now to Hewer. Ian looks over the defense. Now goes in the right corner. Doug Scheckler. Scheckler with it. He needs help. Gets the right corner. Ryan Boylan gets away from his man, but pulls up. And he needs help. Timeout as he could not find anybody.
Probably not a bad timeout. That's only our second of the game. That's not bad. Chris is going to say, boys, we can't get the ball down in the corner because they're trapping every time it goes into an angled position.
They're going to go ahead with a full, it looks like.
Okay, well then we'll go ahead with a couple full. Underwriters. McGregor Furniture is 301 West Van Buren Street in Columbia City. McGregor Furniture offers a complete line of Roy Hill furniture, cat-nap recliners, much, much more. McGregor Furniture located in the intersection of Van Buren and Line Street in Columbia City. Need to tell our guys to not dribble along about the inbounds 5 feet of the baseline because we kind of get cut off unless we stand over here like those.
And we're roaming.
Roaming exactly where I'm standing and leaning over the railing.
We're roaming here, and Pettigrew to the free throw line fires and short. As that was team foul 6 on Northwood, 3 on Columbia City this half.
Great thing on John's part, no expression. You wouldn't have known if he was shooting baskets in the backyard or taking a BB gun to a tin can.
And he fires this one, short again. Rebound out there to Willie Wells. So 0 for 2 for John Pettigrew that time. He gives it off now to Bradley. Bradley across the timeline. Northwood fans to their feet. And kicked out of bounds by Schmidt. Nice defense.
That's the dirt, boy. He's going to find some way to beat you with his hands, with his feet, with his head. He'll get it done.
All right, Northwood possession. 43-38. Now 6:58 on that clock. Quarter number 4. Columbia City's lead is 5. Now, it's Northwood. They don't have help yet. Now they finally only throw it out of bounds. This man cut the wrong way. It went into the Northwood bench.
Oh, my.
Wow.
That was ugly. Bradley thought that one of his teammates was behind him because he looked back and saw a lot of white jerseys, and the white jerseys were all on the bench.
And Dan Gunn got the pass, the coach. All right. Send into Tim Schmidt. Heavy pressure in the backcourt. Now Schmidt gets away from Bradley. Works it across the timeline. He spins right, now left. Now across the timeline. Now right corner with it. Now it's Hewer. And he needs help. He gets it. He better use a dribble. Hubbard's going to get a 5-second call. Now he gets it off right side to Pettigrew. Beyond the arc. John fakes. Comes all the way up top to Tim Schmidt. We're down to 6:40 on the clock.
Come on, guys. Be aggressive. It's a little bit too early to start, just completely salting it away.
Schmidt. Interior pass. Bob Dye from 12 feet. Doesn't get the roll. Rebound. John Pettigrew fought for it. Now Northwood comes up with it. And here's a touch foul as Ian Hewer bumps into Northwood player on the rebound.
Well, I think the reason for that foul was that Northwood was in the process of trying to start a fast break, and Hewer had gotten knocked down and kind of rolled into the guy. Of course, knowing Ian, he probably took an extra roll or two to make sure there was contact. just to stop that break.
Ian Hewer is second, team fourth. Pressure in the backcourt. Now across the timeline with us going to be Robbie Lightfoot. Now cross court is Bradley.
Columbia City showing the zone for the first time tonight, showing a little 2-3.
Now Bradley top gets it off left side to Reynolds. Now in the corner it's Lightfoot. Interior pass good to Willie Will, but he kicks it out top for three. Bradley off the mark. Rebound Northwood. Score on the putback, Rory Cloud. 43-40. Full court pressure being put on by the Panthers. Smith gets it into Bob Dye, knocked away by Northwood. Out of bounds in the corner.
Well, the zone was a nice look as far as it served Northwood, and it even screwed them up more offensively. The bad thing was is it changed our block-out assignments, and they got an easy stick back on that offensive board.
Into John Pettigrew. Full court pressure being put on. They're going to ease it off a bit. Schmidt has it now, and he works it up the left side. 5:45, fourth quarter number 4. Smith, top of the key, spins right. Now he fakes left and needs help. Gets it off to Hewer, left side. Now top of the key, Smith out by the midcourt line. Smith works it right, now left. Now back left. He goes down. John Pettigrew has the shot, doesn't take it on the baseline. Up top, Trevor Shively for three. That's long back iron off of Northwood. It'll be Columbia City's ball.
We just need a bucket or two to drop. We've had some really good looks the last 2 or 3 times down the floor. Dye had a great shot on an angle there. Last time down from about 14 feet. It banked it, and it just rattled in and out. Shively's was a pretty good look.
43-40. Now Shively spins all the way out top as he got the inbound pass from Smith. Now left side he goes to Tim Smith. Tim almost then maintains the footing off the Bob Dye. Right side with it's going to be Shively now. Columbia City's lead is 43-40. Shively all the way out top to Smith at midcourt line. 5:10 for the fourth quarter. Smith left side. Now left wing Bob Dye with it on the arc. Bob Dye against Willie Will. Gets it off right side to Pettigrew all the way around to Smith. Smith looks interior. Doesn't have anybody. Up top it's Shively. Shively. And he works it right side to Bob Dye beyond the arc. Columbia City pretty deliberate here. And Bob Dye all the way up top to Ian Hewer. Now left side Tim Smith. 4:50 now in the fourth quarter. Smith up top to Bob Dye. Dye comes left side with it to Shively now. Shively hands it off to Tim Smith, left wing. 4:40 now. Smith all the way up top. Smith, heavy pressure put on by Northwood. Smith works the left side. And he needs help. Gets it off Shively, left corner. Sends it in the middle. Puts it up, off the mark. No. Heavy contact.
That was a prayer because he was really off balance, and that was throw up the ball before you travel.
So Northwood with a chance to tie if they get a 3. Now it's all the way out wide right. Lightfoot.
Do it with D, guys. You can do it with D.
Lightfoot spins it in the middle, loses the handle, and he traveled. Got it off really well.
Even though he took Dye to the basket on a crossover, Dye did a sensational job of moving his feet and staying in front of the man with the basketball.
Now Tim Smith in the backcourt. We're down to 4:10, fourth quarter, 43-40.
And he's decided that he doesn't think we can hold it like this. He doesn't understand our kids can run an offense for a day and a half and be precision-like.
Shively up top. And heavy defense thrown by Northwood. Shively draws a foul as he heads for the lane. The Northwood foul coming. This will be a bonus, Jerry, as it's team foul 7.
To Shive. He gets that disgusted look on his face like, get off me, don't touch me.
So what do we have on the clock up there? 3:56, fourth quarter, 43-40 Columbia City. Timeout coming for, I think, Northwood.
I would think so. If I was them, I'd certainly want to grab one pretty quick.
As Coach Gunn is not happy.
Well, you've got to make an adjustment defensively because Columbia City is obviously not necessarily going to hold the ball, but we're going to be very deliberate. So we're telling them, hey, if you guys can shut off the way we run our offense, go ahead, baby. But if you can't, we'll run the clock for the next 4 days, and you can go sound asleep. So Gunn's got to make some defensive adjustments. I look for them to maybe try and do a few more traps in the corner or to try and let us penetrate and then double team. They've attempted to try and trap us 20 feet away from the basket, and between Schmidt and Shively, especially Schmidt because he stays under control. I mean, this is a kid that's been playing for 4 years. There's no situation he hasn't seen before. He's not going to get shaken. So Dan's got to make the adjustment defensively. For our guys, I know Chris is telling his guys, get a layup if you take it. Don't throw up silly shots. We don't need a three-pointer. Do it with defense. Don't let them have anything easy. Force the boards, no second shot.
So Robbie Lightfoot, he got the foul, his 4th, team 7th, 1-1 for Trevor Shively. Shively fires the free throw, gets the roll, 44-40.
I was beginning to think there was a lid on that puppy.
Yeah, we've had a little bit of a drought here. Trevor Shively will have another one.
Well, that's our first point of the quarter.
Score, Okay, so 45-40 Columbia City. Here comes Northwood. It's going to be Bradley across the timeline, right side. Smith's got the defense on him. Bradley works left against Smith, kicks it off now to Klaus. 3 on the way, scores! Wild looking stop, and it goes in. 45-43, full court pressure. Smith gets it into Ian Ewert. Foul on Northwood.
You know, look for Klaus to come off of screens and pop out. He had 2 threes early in the ball game, and they went away from him. When they got into their half-court offense, he didn't see the ball anymore. Dye's going to have a hard time fighting off that screen and getting out and getting a hand up in Klaus's face. So they may make the adjustment of making a switch off that screen so somebody can get out on him quicker.
Rory Klaus, the second foul for Northwood. Teammates Ian Ewert will go to the free throw line as it's 45-43 in favor of Columbia City.
Ewert looking for his 5th point.
Ian has 1-on-1, fires, Rick back iron, rebound Northwood. And they have in the backcourt Lightfoot with it now, gives it up to Bradley. Bradley across the timeline, fans on their feet here at the pit. Bradley across the timeline, left side, he finds Lightfoot. Now right corner, it's Willie Will. Left side, Will comes around the screen, spins into the middle. He needs help, doesn't have it yet, now gets it out wide right side, Lightfoot. Lightfoot. Just top of the key, gets it off to Klaus. Klaus spins the right side. Pettigrew's on in. Now gets it further down the right wing to Reynolds. Reynolds, interior pass to Willie Will. It goes out of bounds.
Just tried to force it. That pass wasn't there. It was as if, well, I wish this guy was open, so I'll throw it anyway.
What do we have? 3:09 on that clock. Fourth quarter. 45-43. Columbia City's ball. Full court pressure by Northwood. It's into Bob Dye. Dye back to Schmidt. Schmidt bothered back there by Klaus. Klaus, contact, no call. Schmidt across the timeline. Klaus gets him from behind. And now left corner to Ian Ewert. Ewert, left side with it. Now he dribbles, and he's going to get trapped now. Now gets the left corner, John Pettigrew. John.
That double team we talked about.
Whoa, all the way up top to Ian Ewert. Here's the Northwood foul. As it was Bradley diving right in front of the Columbia City bench, and he just tackled Ewert. Ian got bloody lip. He's going to have to come out now, maybe. Well, don't.
If it's on the mouth and it's not on the uniform, or it's not, some place that it shows, I believe they can stay in for a lip. If it's like bloody nose or on the leg or something like that, then he does have to come out. So the blood can be readily stopped, he gets to stay.
Team foul 9, Jerry. So on Northwood, the foul is on Bradley. So Ian Ewert will be back to the free throw line for 1-1. 45-43. We have 2:49 on the clock. 38-33. Oh, 2:48 left. Okay. Ewert fires, misses the back iron, rebound, fought for it. Bob Dye comes out with it, but he steps on it. No, they called him for a foul, I think. Or did he step on the end line?
I couldn't see.
There's discussion ensues at the Columbia City bench. I think Bob might have just stepped on the end line.
Must have been, because they're not calling a number out.
Okay. So 45-43. Now it's in the backcourt with it. Now it's going to be Bradley across the timeline now for Northwood. We're down to 2:10 on the quarter. Fourth quarter. Now it is Bradley. Smith left into the lane. Kicks it out. 3 on the way. No. Rebound. Tim Schmidt. Heavy foul. Foul on Northwood. Schmidt is down. And boy, did he get plugged on that one. I hope he gets up.
Think of a wide receiver going up for a pass over the middle.
He's up.
The defensive back taking his knees out from under him. Whoa. The flip. That's exactly what happened to Schmidt.
So that will be team foul 10. Double bonus the rest of the way.
When Schmidt's man penetrated the basket, Shively did a terrific job of sagging inside to help, which left his man open. And that's 5 on Lightfoot, I think, isn't it?
Yes. Lightfoot, the 5'11 sophomore, will be disqualified for the evening on fouls.
So Lightfoot got his three-pointer off. Shively didn't get a chance to come out after him. Lightfoot then had the momentum to go to the basket, and when he did, Schmidt cut him off, got the rebound, and when he went up for the rebound, just got his legs taken out. We've got to hit free throws.
Yeah.
Smith, 3 free throws in a row, including the front end of 2 1-1.
All right, 2 shots for Tim Schmidt. He fires. He misses it short. Boy.
This is the first time all night our kids have shown any nerve.
All right, Tim Schmidt has another one coming. Double bonus the rest of the way for Columbia City. 2:33 on that clock. 2:32, check that. And now what do we have? A delay is Northwood kid has blood on, so this is going to...
And if I'm the Northwood trainer, I'm going to take my time doing this.
And he's going to make him sit down. Well, okay, they're going to put a sub in. Here comes Sean Clem back as Columbia City has missed their last 4 free throws. Not a good time for this, but...
And it's more than that. It's actually like 7 points because of missing the front end of the 1-1.
All right, Tim Schmidt will have another one. So the second opportunity coming. He fires and scores! 46-43. Now Northwood sends it in. Here comes Willie Will with it. Willie Will across the timeline. 2:30 for this ball game. 46-43 Columbia City. Will drives all the way to the basket. Layup good!
And Hewer just got hammered on a pick, and his teammate didn't give him some help in recovery, nor did they make a switch on it.
46-45 across the timeline. Smith left side with it. Shively. Columbia City's lead is a scant 1. Now Smith all the way up top. Shively left side out by the midcourt line. He works left. And now back right. Shively, right corner. Finds Smith, batted out of bounds by Northwood's Willie Will. Nice defense.
Trevor just threw that pass a little bit too soft, but he couldn't get to it in time.
All right. We have 2:01 on the clock. Columbia City's lead is 46-45. Ian Hewer now to send it in. Gets it to Schmidt easily in the backcourt. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Schmidt across the timeline. Left side. He works against Clem. Gets away from him. Up top is Shively. Trevor works right. Now left. Now back right. Now he's going to work left. Spins into the lane. Needs help. Gets it off left wing. Bob Dye. Dye with it. Left side. He decides to drive the bucket. Kicks it out top to Hewer. Now up top, Shively with it. As we're down to 135. Shively spins left. And he knocks his man off. Now he goes back left. Now right. Now Schmidt with it. All the way to midcourt. 1:30 for this ball game. Now Hewer. Up top, Shively. Shively with it. Works it left side to Schmidt. Schmidt all the way up top. Gets around a double team. Gets it off to Hewer. Hewer's going to be fouled. As it's going to be Klaus.
That's a good foul. That's a good foul. I mean, that's a real high percentage foul. You say, okay, you know, we've got to stop the clock someplace. Who are we going to foul? Hewer's missed the front end of 2 1-and-1s, and they were hard off that backboard. And then you get a timeout to freeze it more. Nice move by Danny Gunn. Ian's a smart enough kid. All he's got to do is get a deep breath. Guarantee in this timeout. Chris is going to say, now, boys, after Ian hits these free throws, this is what we're going to do. Just planting that psychological thing in Ian's head that we believe in you, and the ball's going to go in the basket.
So timeout Northwood. 1:19 on the clock. Some of your underwriters this evening. The Right Side Christian School at 1550 East State Road 205, Columbia City. Right Side Christian School provides a non-denominational Christian atmosphere for quality education with an emphasis on character building. All teachers are fully licensed and classes meet Tuesday through Friday for ages preschool through 8th grade, including all-day kindergarten. Contact Right Side Christian School 248-4872. And McGregor Furniture, 301 West Van Buren in Columbia City. McGregor Furniture offers a complete line of Royal Furniture, cat snapper recliners, and much, much more. McGregor Furniture at the intersection of Van Buren and Line Street in Columbia City. We thank all of our underwriters here tonight. Hang on, folks. We're going to have a buzzer beater here. It looks 1:19 on that clock, quarter number 4. 46 for Columbia City, 45 for Northwood. And boy, Jerry, you got to hit the free throws. We got to hit them.
Out of time, absolutely. Because every time you miss one, the free throw, the rim just gets smaller and smaller.
That bucket gets smaller to get about as small as the carnival. Now it's Ian Hewer to the free throw line once again. 2 shots coming. Ian fires, scores. 47-45. Big free throw. We got the lid off the basket. Ian will have another one. 1:19 on that clock.
And now suddenly the basket seems bigger.
Ian fires, scores, 48-45.
And neither of them rippled the net.
There's Willie Will with it, right side. Now spins into the lane. Now a 3 on the way by Short. Rebound, Schmidt. Schmidt gets it up to Trevor Shively. Shively double teamed in the backcourt. And he throws the cross court to Schmidt. We better get her across the line, boys. Schmidt spins all the way front court. Now what do we have? Timeout Columbia City. Woo! Big rebound by Shively there on that 3.
Does it appear as if the last 6 minutes have taken about 3 days?
Yeah, boy.
Man, I tell you, it seems like every time I look up at that clock, there's 2-something, and that was like that for 20 minutes, and now it's been 1-something for about a half an hour.
Well, it's 1:01 on that clock, Jerry. We're going to stick right here with it.
Tim Moriarty, you're willing to run around all over the place. Go down there and ask the timekeeper if he'll take a quarter in order to take about 40 seconds off that clock.
All right. As we have 1:01 on the clock, Columbia City's possession in the backcourt. Nice Columbia City crowd up here tonight.
The biggest thing at this point in the ball game, more than anything else, more than hitting shots, is staying under control.
Yes, composure.
Because the kids are trying to think ahead. We're like 69 seconds to winning a regional. As a coach, you're thinking that, but you can't let yourself. So basically what you're doing is you're going over the nitpickiest, goofiest details in this huddle just in order to keep your kids focused. Pass the ball and catch the ball. Don't attempt to run before you catch it. Block out and get both hands on a rebound. Move your feet on defense. Don't try to be a hero at this point. Just do the solid things that got us this lead.
All right, here we go. Columbia City's possession. They're going to set something up here. Heavy pressure put on by Northwood. Boylan has the ball. The screens are set, and somebody's got to come in the backcourt. And it's into Trevor Shively. Shively has the backcourt. We're under a minute. Shively against Scott Hill. Shively now spins across the timeline. Now he's double-teamed all the way up top. And he gets it off to Tim Schmidt, left side. Heavy contact, and a Northwood foul. No shot.
Boy, were we lucky on that.
As the Northwood kid just flew at Schmidt and kind of took his knees out. Well, not intentionally, but
Shively crossed the 10-second line and immediately picked up his dribble right in the middle of a double team, and then committed even more of a cardinal sin by trying to throw over the top of a double team. Anytime you've got a trap, you try to step around and bounce pass, because if you throw it up in the air,
score!
It hits. You throw it up in the air, you're going to take a chance that somebody's going to pick it off.
Tim Schmidt scores the free throw. The foul was on Reynolds, his second.
Senior at the line.
Double bonus. Tim Schmidt will have another one. We have 50.0 on that clock. Tim fires. Doesn't get the roll. It's out of there to Northwood. Willie Will with it. He gives it off to Brian Bradley. Bradley across the timeline now, 45 seconds. Bradley works it left. Heavy contact underneath. Bradley drives all the way to the basket. Foul. Columbia City fans were traveling. They're not going to get it.
They cleared out the middle. Let Bradley take Schmidt. He's taller than Tim by probably about 3 inches. Quickness-wise, about equal. Schmidt does a good job of getting a foul in there rather than giving up a layup.
40.2 on that clock.
However, Tim's got 4. He's got to be careful, because if this goes OT, we've got to have him to handle the basketball.
Ryan Bradley at the free throw line for Northwood. Fires! Gets the roll. 49-46. Back to a one-possession game. Ian Hewer comes out. Ryan Boylan's in. Okay, 49-46 Columbia City. 40.2 on that clock. It will be Bradley for another free throw. Bradley shoots. Scores. Full court pressure put on by Northwood. Tim Schmidt has the ball. He gets it into Boylan easily. Now back to Schmidt. Almost steps on that inline. Schmidt all the way up left side. Works right. Now back left. Going to be double team. And gets it across to Bob Dye. Dye holds it left side. Gives it up to Shively. Shively. Get it out of the corner. Double team. Now up by midcourt. Gets it off to Bob Dye. Dye. Right side. And he's fouled. 22 seconds on the clock. Woo! Bob Dye draws the fouls. They finally had to stop the clock. Columbia City, a nice job of keeping it away, Jer.
Boy, and we had 3 opportunities to throw the ball away real easy.
Yeah.
And you're right. When Dye got the ball, he could have penetrated and maybe gone for a layup.
That's I don't know. That's kind of a catch-22.
Yeah,
you don't need points, but you could. You know, it's just a 22.4 on the clock. Timeout. I think it is Columbia City's time. Well, whatever the case, we're in timeout here.
That's 4 on Will, so that's a good thing if we end up having to go OT, because it's going to cause him to play a little bit more cautious defensively.
49-47 on the big board here. It's in favor of Columbia City.
And how much time? I can...
22
point something.
22.4. 22.4 on that clock. And we're going to keep it right here. I tell you, boy, this is exciting.
Johnny on the spot, but it's Tommy on the spot.
Tommy on the spot, that's right. Boy, Columbia City faithful on their feet over there. They're getting pumped. Hopefully, we're going to get one here.
Both benches doing Academy Award performances right now, as both benches attempting to remain perfectly calm when your stomach wants to throw up.
Like there's not 22 seconds and it's a 2-point game.
Yeah, like as if you're, playing in an AAU game in the summer in July.
Yeah. Regional championship on the line. A trip to the semi-state in Frankfurt Saturday morning.
This is when you find out if your deodorant works.
All right, it will be Bob Dye to the free throw line. He'll have 2, and they're big. All right, we're back in session. Referee blows the whistle. 2 shots. Bob Dye has the basketball. He dribbles. He eyes it. Flies it. Scores! 50-47. So this is a big one, Jerry. We could make it a 4-point lead. 22.4 on the clock. Bob Dye fires, scores!
No rim, all net.
Here comes Bradley across the timeline for Northwood. They trail by 4. Now right corner with
a lot of time.
Now all the way up top, it's Willie Will. Willie Will spins 3 on the way by Klaus. No good! Rebound Dye. Dye across the timeline, pass pattern around, stolen. We have a foul on Northwood.
We're going to win this puppy, Andrew. We are going to win this puppy. We are going to
9.1. Well,
we got a 4-point lead. It depends upon how many timeouts they've got left.
9.1 on this clock. And as
I mean, all that rigmarole only took 13 seconds. I find that hard to believe.
Oh boy, and Klaus wide open again in the corner, but he couldn't drain it. Bob Dye back to the free throw line. Scores! 52-47. Just 9 seconds on that clock.
Stay calm.
Chris Benedict clears the lane, so we don't get any rebounding fouls. Bob Dye doesn't get the roll. Rebound out of there. Here comes Northwood. Reynolds all the way up right side. Scott Hill. And he gets it off. Pass batter away. In the backcourt. It's over! Columbia City, for the first time since 1975, breaks hold of regional title. Can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? After a 3-8 start, a 6-game losing streak, regional champions, we're heading to Frankfurt.
Well, so much for that undefeated on their home floor stuff.
Yes, we went in the Eagles nest. All right.
We're going to Weenie.
All right. Oh, this is fun. The final score here on the board at the pit in Napanee, Indiana. It's 52-47. Columbia City are your regional champions. Wow. Boy, right down to the wire, Jerry. I don't think you could have scripted that to finish any better.
And I'm telling you, as the Northwood kids walked off the floor, they still had that, who are these guys, look on their face. They truly did. Well, I guess
they know now.
Found out.
They're going to know all summer. All right. As the kids being ushered back off the floor, the Columbia City kids stormed the court, but obviously award ceremony.
There's one policeman out there to keep our student body off the court. He corralled 2 girls and everybody else out on the floor.
That's one of Columbia City's finest, Gary Archibald, flushing the kids off the floor. All right. Award presentation on the way.
Yeah, this is the crappiest part. You get a plate. The plate's 1 inch wide and about 6 inches long, and that's what you get to hold up for a trophy for winning a regional, for
goodness sake. And it's tacked on to the sectional championship trophy. Oh boy, 52-47. Columbia City on their way to semi-state here in 3A. We'll be teeing it up in Frankfurt Saturday morning, the second ball game, either against Whitko or Benton Central. We had a halftime score that Whitko was trailing by 12 at half, so it'd be nice to see them come back and win. But aside all that, Columbia City, your regional champions, 2001. And they're giving the runner-up game ball now to the Northwood Panthers. What a hard-fought game this was.
It was not only a hard-fought game, it was a terrific game.
Yeah.
The Northwood kids showed a lot of class. You know, there was great spirit by both sides. There was no poor sportsmanship by the fans or the team. I mean, even the kids right now from Northwood, even though they've got to be heartbroken, you know, have just conducted themselves really, really, really well. And it was a fun game to do.
Oh, it was. And now the championship game ball, the regional champions plate, being presented to seniors John Pettigrew and Tim Schmidt. And there it is. And the Eagle faithful go nuts to our right.
And there is one of the happiest people in Whitley County, and that's Chris Benedict's wife.
Yep.
I mean, all the stuff that she puts up throughout the whole season. I mean, I truly think that for somebody like her and for what she goes through, it means as much, if not more, than to some of the players and coaches.
And stay tuned. We'll have interviews coming up momentarily. As I'm not sure what he wants me to do, but...
well, I'm sure we'll get some hand signals by Tom. He wants us.
Okay, we'll go with Tom. No, keep rambling, he said.
Okay.
Okay, well, we're going to get a picture.
All kinds of stuff. Oh, yeah. we got to go through this just like we did last week. You know, you can't miss out on it. I have no idea leading scorers and so on and so forth. I can get that added up if you want to go through.
Okay.
It's absolutely amazing down here on the floor, guys. I don't know, you picking me up pretty well down up there?
Pretty good, a little scratchy, but you're all right.
Talk about pandemonium. The last time I seen it like this was semi-state a year ago down in Peru. Andy, you were down there with me. And,
so...
boy, the resurrection of Columbia City basketball. Been since when, Andrew?
Well, 1975, a regional championship the last time. And see a few of those team members in the crowd tonight. Mark Watterson, Brent Johnson, among others. I'm sure there might be a couple more that I'm missing, but boy, has that been a long time. A regional championship here in the year 2001 for Columbia City boys basketball.
Hey, I got a request from you. Give me a request. Who do you want me to grab first?
Well, I don't know. They all played so well.
Bob Dye.
Hey,
Bob Dye.
We needed Bob Dye to step up. I think he did the job. So.
Hitting the 6-foot jumpers was a key early in the first half, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, and team picture going on right now. We'll wait for interviews as Columbia City students and parents on the floor now. Boy, it is blistering hot, too. We have
that's the way it's
sweated a little bit tonight.
It's March. It's supposed to be hot and sweaty, and then you get a little bit of snow outside, and it's hot and sweaty inside a gym.
Gentlemen, you have the stats up there. Is it a 2-year winning streak that comes to an end tonight here at the Northwood pit?
Well, they were 11-0 coming in on their home floor. I don't know about the prior year, but
we were told that it's been 2 years.
Okay, well, that streak comes to a close. You have the info, Tommy. And the picture over with, and we'll stand by for interviews as Tom heads into the mass of humanity here on the floor at the pit in Napanee. And we have
Bob is wading his way in there.
Pep rally at Columbia City Gym. So if any of you are listening and want to come out, by all means, come out to the gymnasium. And I think we have our first interview of the evening. And Tom Rechler, are you set?
Yeah, I sure am.
All right.
Got Bob Dye down here on the floor. Bob, big night from you. You hit the 6-foot jumper early in the game, went to the hole, you got the rebounds, you did your job, and you come out of here tonight with a semi-state or a regional championship and a semi-state berth. One more step. It's been since 1975. You know what that year was? That was the year I was born.
That's a long time ago. No offense to you. We're just extremely happy to be here. That was a great game. Wow.
Bob, you got to feel a little bit like the movie Hoosiers right now, kind of a team on a destiny, and you know, and a wish to go down to Frankfurt this Saturday morning. And I know you don't care who you play. You're just happy to be here right now. A big night from you, buddy. What's it going to take to get down to semi-state and get through that place?
Well, we got to come back tomorrow and Friday and practice hard. Get ready to go Saturday. Got 2 games. You got to be ready to play.
Bob, anybody you need to say hi to tonight that might be back home listening and couldn't make it down here?
Mrs. Bruner, but everybody else is pretty much here.
Hey, Tom, can you put the headsets on Bob for just a minute? Bob, a couple things. First of all, you made us look brilliant, and that's very difficult to do, trust me. For the ball game, we thought that they would really clamp down on Trevor and they'd really go after Schmitty, and we said the key to the ball game is Bob Dye. If Bobby steps up and gets in an offensive flow early, they're going to be in big trouble because they can't stop him. And, man, your offense at the beginning of the game was just outstanding. The second thing I want to mention to you is that you guys didn't look intimidated. I mean, not in the slightest. You had this gigantic crowd, you know, long home winning streak of like 25, 30 games. You guys seemed to be really focused tonight. Did a sensational job. Any thoughts on that?
Well, Coach got us really ready to play tonight. We came out here Monday night in practice, and we were used to the facility, but it was a lot different playing with in front of 3,700 people, but it was great. It was great.
Congratulations. Good luck on Saturday.
Congratulations, Bob.
Thank you.
Nice job.
All right, well, I guess we're back here. Tom will search for another couple of interviews, and that's the comments of Bob Dye. And how many points do we have him for? 15 biggies.
15. He was the only, he was not the only guy in double figures. He had 15, was 3 of 4 from the line in the fourth quarter in the last 30 seconds. Here we got a co-cap. We got a senior co-cap.
Let's go to Tom.
Guys, I got Tim Schmidt with me down here, one of the 2 seniors in this team. Tim, I know this is beyond your wildest dreams ever making it this far, but in some respects it's not. You knew you guys could get here. You knew when you were 3-7 on the year what it would take to finish the season strong, and you've done just that. What's the next step? I'll go to semi-state, keep working hard in practice to get the job done, and that's what we're going to do. Go there, work as hard as we can. If we win, we win. If we don't, then we had a hell of a season. Tim, I got to ask this question real quick. What got you through this game tonight? You look at the crowd you had to deal with, the pandemonium throughout the game. Free throws down the stretch were key, and you were sitting at the line. What got you through it? Well, I think I should have hit my free throws because I'm a senior. I need to step up and hit it, but I hit the ones that counted, get us up by 3 or something like that, and everybody else hit theirs, so that's what we needed to do to get the job done tonight, and that's what we did. Jim, you made it a 2-possession game at one time, put us up by 4. What was going through your head when that buzzer went off? I was so pumped up. I knew we had it, so I just went nuts. I never go nuts, so I just thought I'd let it all out. Jim, you said hi to your grandma last game. Do you want to do the same? Yeah, hi, Grandma. I love you.
Hey, Tom?
Yeah.
You tell Schmidt we know why they keep winning, because he don't want to take that uniform off.
Yeah, I think he knows that, because I don't think in his wildest dreams does he ever want to take that jersey off. He's told me time and time before, I am not ready for this season to end. In the hallways and passing, 2 months ago, Jerry, when they're looking at a 3-7 record, he's looking at me telling me they're going to win the sectional championship, and I'm looking at him going, okay, prove me that, prove it, and he goes out and does it. This is a kid, I guess he's kind of the Rudy of basketball. He's 5'7" on the floor. You call him third up there. The kid's a key part of the game itself. For crying out loud, he's a floor general. He does it all. Hits some big threes. Had 11 the other night in the sectional championship. Tim's averaging 5 for the season.
Absolutely. And the other thing you take a look at is that how much did he sit down tonight? 0.
Not a wink.
He was under pressure all night. All night. I swear to goodness that when he goes home tonight and goes to bed, there'll probably be a Northwood player following to tuck him in. They were just all over Tim tonight, and I think, if I remember correctly, he had 1 turnover for the entire ball game.
All right, we'll send her back to Tom and Coach Benedict.
Down here with Coach Benedict, guys. Coach, a regional championship for the first time since 1975. Thank you for, first of all, resurrecting basketball in Columbia City. What did it take tonight to get through the crowd? I knew the scouting helped you quite a bit, but what goes on in your mind psychologically when this stuff's going on?
Well, I just think that you got to believe in what you're doing. And I talked to the kids a little bit before the game about why I'm so passionate about this game, and we talked to them about, there's a defining moment in your life, whether or not you're going to be winners, you're going to step up to challenges, and you're going to face those challenges, or whether you're going to back away from them. And I thought tonight all our kids stepped in there tonight toe-to-toe with all of them and really got the job done. And, you got to have some inner belief. And I think before we came over here, there were about 16 kids that really believed in what was going on. We're starting to get some more believers, but right now I'm just very proud of the way that they hang in there, the toughness that they showed. When we lost those 6 in a row, we thought about, they weren't really tough enough in situations they needed to be, but it's a whole process. And tonight they were tough when it counted. And then just can't say enough about our seniors. They stepped up and knocked down free throws, got big boards, and it was just a great night.
Coach, a lot of people talk about peaking, and you guys obviously we're not peaking. Middle of the season, beginning of the season. You finish it up though right, Coach. You're peaking right at the right time. We head down to Frankfort Saturday. We play Benton Central. That's who's on the map. Get the coaches ready again. I know it's going to be a late evening week for you. Not just late evening. It'll be a late evening week, I'm sure. And boy, oh boy, you've got a job ahead of you, Coach. But if anybody believes, it's got to be us, because you got about 300 people behind you that are going, oh my goodness, this has been a long time coming.
Well, I think that, these are the long weeks here are no big deal. I mean, you like these weeks. If work was like this all the time, it'd be a lot of fun. So, you gotta keep doing what you're doing all year long. I mean, when you get to this game and you're playing against opponents that you haven't seen all year long, you can't stray away from what you do and what you believe in. When we came here, 5 years ago, we said we're going to be tough defensively. We're going to try to keep people, under 50 night in and night out. We're going to take care of the basketball. We're not going to beat ourselves. We're going to find a way to get to the free throw line and knock down easy shots. And the kids are really kind of come full circle in terms of believing in the program and understanding what it takes to get us a victory against very quality people in tough environments. And just very proud of the kids and the way they played.
A couple more questions, Coach. As an observer, I'm looking throughout this game, and it's a stop, every halftime stop. Northwood came back on the floor, and every quarter stop they came back on the floor. They look like, oh my goodness, who is this team? Who is Columbia City? Where are they from? What are they about? They're playing as strong in our building where we haven't been defeated in 2 years. Did you get the same feeling?
Somewhat. I mean, I told our kids that, they haven't lost at home, and I think that they believe that, you know, it was going to take an unbelievable effort for anybody to come in here and beat them. And sometimes you got to, I know that they were prepared for us. I know that they were well coached, but, you know, it's hard to get those kids to understand what kind of environment it's going to be, how much tougher it's going to be in this type of a setting, this type of game. And our kids stepped up and believed and made the plays they had to make. And, you know, it was an unbelievable challenge coming over here. You know, but, we earned it, you know, and I told the kids before the sectional that, you know, you got to go out and earn this one. Nobody's going to be able to give it to you, and we've just been getting it done, and we're going to keep going as long as we can go, and we'll get prepared for Benton Central, and we'll go to Frankfort and give ourselves a good showing.
Coach, I've told you this before. I'm going to let you go celebrate, but if this was an election year, I think you might be voted mayor.
I don't know anything about that. Our kids do a great job.
Thanks, Coach. Go enjoy the moment.
Well, all right, we're back. We do have a final score. Benton Central defeats Whitko 82-61, so the little bit of a dream matchup between Whitko and Columbia City will go awry, but...
That's too bad. That's too bad. So
well, what a season for Whitko, though.
We'll play the green. You know, I'll tell you what, seeing them at the beginning of the season in that first ball game, and knowing that Plymouth came in, I think, like 19-2.
And on their floor in Plymouth.
And, you know, they're released, and Valley had a great season. I never would have guessed that Whitko would have come out of that sectional.
Yeah. Hey, guys, back down here, Trevor Shively. Pandemonium on the floor once again. I had to get him through a crowd of 100 or 2 people. Trevor, I know you didn't have the night you wanted offensively, but, buddy, your team backed you up tonight big time. They didn't need 29 or 32 from you tonight. They didn't need you to hit 4 or 6 threes. They need you to play strong defense. They need you to run the floor. They need you to be the general at times when Schmidt wasn't in there. Buddy, what do you think of this one?
Well, it's been a lot of fun. I came out early and rushed some shots, and I shouldn't have done that, but, you know, our guys stepped it up. John Pettigrew, Bob Dye absolutely dominated their big guys inside the post, and that's what we needed. That's what it's all about, guys stepping it to another level from the way they've been playing all year, and those 2 guys in particular stepped up to another level when I wasn't hitting my shots. Tim Schmidt stepped up, hit some big threes. It was just a lot of fun.
Jim, there's a lot of people back home right now in Columbia City, Indiana, that didn't want to make the hour drive. What do you think? Do you think they're going to make the 2.5-hour drive down to Frankfort, Indiana?
Hey, if they didn't want to make this one, we won this one, so they could come watch us play Saturday at Frankfort.
Down in the Weenie Dome, or whatever it's called.
Nah, it's Saturday at Frankfort. Little Mackey is...
Ace Arena.
Ace Arena, as Andrew Thompson calls it. Trevor, buddy, I want to tell you something. I love you. You know, this has been big. I love you in class, you know, and it's nice to see you kids out of the classroom be a success because you are a bunch of classy kids. And I congratulate you 100%. And I never doubted you guys throughout the year. You and Schmidt both sat there in the hallway and jawed with me, hey, we're going to win sectional, and then we're going to take our regional. We get to semi-state, then everything's wide open. You're down to the 4 teams that make it there. Buddy, hey, I'm proud of you.
Thanks a lot, man. I love you, too. Thanks for sticking with us the whole year.
So, Trevor, congratulations. I'd like to get a chance to talk to Ian Hughes.
Well, I think
you get a chance to. I was kind of motioning to Tim, see if he could get us number 20.
He was a pretty scrappy player tonight, wasn't he, guys?
Yes, he was, and
gave up some blood for the cause.
Well, the big mass of humanity still goes on as we cut down the nets at the west end. And
well, you don't want it to end.
No,
you truly don't. You know, the strangest part is that, and I'll talk about this as we just now have got Ian.
Hey, guys, back here, do have Ian Hewer with me, bringing him out to half court. You guys are probably, 30, 40 feet from me up in the old rafters. Ian, I think Garada wants to talk to you. This is the only interview right here that we're going to put the headsets on you, and Jerry wants to go.
Congratulations, Ian.
Yes, congratulations.
Thank you. You know, I can remember, I think it was about 3 years ago, riding in a car with you and your dad to a ball game, and you were like in the 8th grade or something, and you were talking about this kind of stuff, and I thought you were lying, and baby, you're out there cutting down the nets. What a great ball game.
I don't like lying, so we got to take care of business tonight.
Ian, one of the things I thought you did a terrific job of, not just as a team, but, you know, last week when the Metzger kid came in and hit a couple shots in the sectional final, you stepped in and shut off his water. He never got another good look at the basket again, and did the same thing again tonight. And for any of our younger kids out there listening, at one time, whether it's a 6th grade, 7th grade, whatever, you probably scored a whole bunch of points. You were a star. Now your role changes. You are a defensive stopper.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about the mental change in that and the emotional difference and what kind of things you go through to prepare yourself knowing, hey, I've got to come out and I've got to shut off the other guy's leading scorer.
I mean, Trevor and Bob and all those guys, they're such great scorers, and I know that my role is just to D it up, and it doesn't matter who it is. I just go into every game thinking they're not going to score on me, and if I can keep the ball in their hands, then I know I've done my job. So I just try every game. I know that I'm getting the best player, and that's like my challenge. Trevor's challenge is to put up 20. My challenge is just to shut the other guy down, and I love it.
And I would say you've been quite successful at that challenge. We've mentioned that frequently. Now, I do have to put you on the spot, though. You missed the front end to 2 1-and-1s, and I was crying for you. The basket had to seem like it was about the size of a pea when you stepped up there the 3rd time. Did Coach say anything to you in the free throw line or say, okay, here's what we're going to do after Ian hits these free throws? Because you were so calm, and it was nothing but twine when it really counted.
I knew Coach had confidence in me, and that was all I needed. I knew he said, after Ian makes these next 2, we're going to go back and get into 1, and just him saying that helped me a lot. It helped me to know that my team's looking out for me, and they're wanting me to do it just as bad as I want to. So their confidence helped a lot.
Well, congratulations. We're really proud of you, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to get John Pettigrew here momentarily, so stand by. And as the celebration continues here at the pit in Napanee, where the final score was 52-47, and it was in favor of the Columbia City Eagles. And back to Tom with the senior John Pettigrew.
Guys, one thing amazes me. Whenever someone takes off the headset and he hands me back the microphone, they always thank me. They have no idea that I thank them more than anything. Oh, my goodness. You know, Jerry, you know I love basketball so much. And Andrew, and all 3 of us, or 4 of us, with Mort down here. And it's been a long time coming in Whitley County.
I think the word junkie comes to mind when we talk about basketball.
Jim Rat.
Congratulations to Mr. Pettigrew.
Congratulations.
The seniors just don't want to let loose, do they?
No, I'm sure just like the jersey, they don't want to take it off. Down here at John Pettigrew right now. John, one of the couple seniors. John, key play comes to mind down the stretch. We're up by, I think, 3 at the time. You drove your kid baseline, went to the hole, pump faked him, picked up his 3rd foul, hit 2 free throws. Key point in the game. And it's something that everybody kind of criticizes every now and then the inside game. Not tonight, buddy. You went to the boards, you went to the basket, you did everything we needed to do to pull off this win.
We sure did. We matched up really well with them, and we planned on taking them inside. We just did it, and that's because the game plan really well tonight.
Maybe the best team we've really matched up with real well all season. Seems like we always hit a team that's got a 6'6" or 6'7" kid, and we end up playing double down on the post. Not tonight, though. Not to be. You took your man strong. What was the key tonight down the stretch? I know the coaching staff did a nice job scouting this one for you. What was the key down the stretch? You come in here, place seats 3,600. A lot more Northwood fans here tonight than Columbia City. How did you keep your cool in this one?
Oh, we just come together and we talked each other through it on defense. We knew we had to stop them. At the end, we just came up and we did it.
Hey, ask Drew if he's getting tired of this, cutting down the nets, being interviewed. Ask him if he's getting tired of it yet.
Coach Corrado wants to know if you're getting tired of being interviewed yet. John Pettigrew, everybody, one of the 2 seniors, regional champion down here at the Northwood Gymnasium. Thanks, John.
Okay, well, I guess we're back here, and I don't know if we're going to go any further than that or not. We'll just kind of stand by and ad-lib here momentarily. And once again, 52-47 in favor of Columbia City here at the pit in Napanee tonight. Also, we do have a score that Whitko was beaten 82-61 by Benton Central, so the Benton Central Bison will be the opponent for Columbia City down in Frankfort Saturday morning, and we'll send it out to Tom.
Guys, I got a big hello tonight from the trainer. She wants to talk on air so bad she's been down here begging our GM, Tim Moriarty, and here we go.
Mom, Dad, I just want to tell you that I love you and we're going to semi-state.
All right. The manager on the big stick here tonight.
3,000 watts of power.
So,
hey, guys, I do want to pass along straight from the horse's mouth, Jeff Penrod. Tickets will go on sale tomorrow a.m. Okay?
All right.
And he will be at Columbia City High School until 9 o'clock p.m. tomorrow night.
Grab Mrs. Benedict.
Grab Mrs. Benedict.
Whoa, this way.
Grab
Chris's wife. Yeah. Oh, she's running away and being afraid.
I don't think she wants an interview.
Sandy? She's sprinting away from me, Gary.
All right, well, I guess she wants to pass on a potential interview. So as they work on the nets at the east goal here at the pit now, as celebration continues here.
You guys are going to get me in trouble down here.
Oh, no. And,
Tom, I think we can get her. You head back over to Sandy. I think we're talking her into it.
No, she doesn't want to interview.
I got her. Got Sandy Benedict down here, Coach Benedict's wife, and then this might be a first in our WJHS career. Coach's wife on the air, regional title, and it's been one heck of a season. I know being a coach's wife, you probably go through many things. You see your husband sit up till 2 or 3 in the morning watching Gainesville. What kind of psychology plays into this now for the next few days ahead?
I'm not really sure, but I know I'm not going to see my husband for the next 3 days, and it's all right with me as long as we win the semi-state.
Well, you tell Sandy that we know that Chris would not be. Give her the headset. Jiminy Christmas. Let her ears get sweaty, too.
I don't think she can pick you up. I got the battery sign on.
Okay. Well, you tell her that a big part of our success is her and the boys' support of Chris. And congratulations to her as well as the kids.
I'm going to let her take this picture. It's only her husband cutting down the net.
Details, nickel dime, cut down regional nets all the time.
Sandy, Coach Corrado wants me to pass this along, and you can consider this to everybody. Coach's success and his team's success does not come without his wife. You guys add to it so much. And, I'm sure a lot of people back in Columbia City don't know how much. So we thank you personally for that.
Thank you very much.
All right,
guys.
All right, and I think that's the last interview.
I think so.
Well, right. Wait, we got a custodian over there in the corner we haven't talked to you. Let's grab him.
As Moriarty has given us the deal to shut it off, but we'll take care of that when we see it.
Again Saturday morning. We know a game time?
I think we play the second ball game at 11:45 if my paperwork
good. That means we don't have to leave till like 6:30 in the morning. Isn't Frankfurt like you can't get there from here?
120 miles. Been there many times, and it's about a 2.5-hour drive. There is no good way there. So
what about the CCHS plane? Will we be taking the plane there?
Oh my, a plane? Okay. I think we're trying to get a new school yet, and then
details.
Now we're talking Lear jets. All right. Well, according to my records, let's see. Yeah, we would play the second ball game, the 12:15 approximately. Second ball game at Frankfurt. Now, don't take this totally to heart, but this is what I've got in front of me, and it will be Columbia City against Benton Central in Game 2, and then the other bracket will feature the Belmont-Muncie Southside winner against the Hammond-Knoll South Bend St. Joe winner, so that will be interesting to say the least as we head for Case Arena this coming Saturday morning. So we got to thank our underwriters one more time tonight. Star Financial Bank, Smith Brothers Standard Service Station, Thompson's Whitley County Motors, McGregor Furniture, Myers, Tyson, Hochmeyer, McNagny, Attorneys at Law, and the Right Side Christian School as they brought you this one here tonight. And what a night it's been. Regional champions for Columbia City. Bob Dye, 15 tonight. We needed him to step up. He did. John Pettigrew, 12. Shively, 8. Wait a minute. Did I get Schmidt, 7. And Boylan, 5 for the Columbia City scoring. Ian Hewer had 6 down the stretch. Big points as he got some free throws finally.
As he said, that basket really seemed to open up. Well, this is fun. I'm having so much fun doing this tournament stuff. Let's just keep doing this for another 2 or 3 weeks. What do you think?
Well, it'd be nice. Conseco Fieldhouse, it all culminates on March 24th. So, obviously, another couple of games, we might have that opportunity. So, that will about do it here tonight. Patrick Wetzler, thank you, our engineer back at WJHS in Columbia City. And for Tim Moriarty and Tom Rensselaer. And there's work here tonight. And for our broadcast crew, Jerry Garotto, we'll see you Saturday morning.
Absolutely.
And we'll see
out of bed in time.
And we'll see everybody back at the pep session in Columbia City in the coming hour or so. So that'll look forward to that. Come on out, folks. If you're listening at home, glad you're with us tonight. Come out to the gym. And what do we have now?
Well, we have one more announcement on the tickets, guys. All tickets will be reserved seating.
Okay.
Reserved seating down at Frankfurt Case Arena. So will not be general admission this time.
Yeah.
So you want a ticket, tomorrow morning, Jeff Penrod will open up shop, and he'll sit there until 9 o'clock tomorrow night.
All right, so reserve seating at Case Arena in Frankfort. It's a nice place.
I'm still going to call it the Weenie Dome.
Okay, the home of the hot dogs. So for Jerry Dorado, this is Andrew Thompson once again from the pit in Napanee here tonight. The final score, it was 52-47 in favor of the Columbia City Eagles. They are the regional champs of 2001. We'll see you Saturday from Frankfort. Good night.